Alrighty, that looks like it's good. We switched over. Beautiful. Okay. So, welcome, guys. We are doing a little meet the team captains of the Southeast Asia and the Oceanic teams for XTC. So, first off from the bat, we have visited by Sakuda Joe. How are you, Sakuda? Well, I should call you just Joe, shouldn't I? How are you, Joe?
You can call me Joe. What's up, Navi? How's it going, man?
Oh, pretty good. I've got my drink, my Japanese iced tea. And I see you got your drink there too. Cheers to you.
I got my Japanese water here. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we know, we know.
yeah,
So we're here to talk about XTC, and,
that's right.
and Team Japan. So,
Yeah,
firstly, let's start off the bat. Tell me a bit about yourself. For those who don't know who you are, what's your X-wing history?
yeah. Stop me if this gets too boring. But my name's Joe. I'm from Texas originally, and my baby brother gave me the X-wing core set for Christmas, 2014. And then I moved with my family a few months later to Japan, and so this is probably a familiar story for a lot of people, but got the course set for Christmas. We played on the kitchen table, and then like a week later, we had all of the ships, and we just went crazy for X-wing. I think we paid $100 for the Falcon because
Yep.
it was sold out everywhere. So we had to buy it on Amazon, like $100, but we were happy to pay it. And just fell in love with the game. And I moved over here shortly after that, and just found that the game hasn't been released here. Still to this day has not been released. There's not been a formal Japanese release. But there was a small group of guys that played, but we all lived all over the city. So really, from the beginning of my X-wing career, it's all been online. And so I started playing on Vassal, 2015, and that's where I just loved meeting guys from all over the world.
Yeah,
Became friends with.
I was going to say, I think that's where I first met you, or where I had first had a game against you was on Vassal.
I believe it. Yeah, I played too many games more games than I care to admit on Vassal, and but I started entering tournaments, and that's when I started meeting some of the best players in the world, and became friends with a lot of guys in Europe, Bartosz and Ollie, and had a chance to go back. I went back to the States for a year in 2019, and got to go to my first live, like legit sponsored tournament was Worlds 2019, and was talking with Ollie beforehand before I had left Japan, and we decided to room together. I was looking for a roommate, and so I ended up rooming with Ollie and a few other guys from the UK, and it was just a blast, man, to go in. I had heard so much about the X-wing community and how getting beers afterwards is where the real fun is, and just had the time of my life in Minnesota in 2019. And I remember we woke up for day 2 or day 3 of Worlds, the final day, and Ollie told me, he said, "Joe, I think I'm going to win it." I think I'm going to win it. And I was like, because at this point, he hadn't even made the cut, and there was still a lot of games to be played. And I was like, "Okay, Ollie, good luck, man." And then he won it. So, I wasn't too surprised. Ollie's an incredible player, but it was just really fun to come home that night. I mean, he was out all night, celebrating.
Oh, for sure.
And yeah, it was just a great memory. And so, but played in X-wing Vassal League since the beginning, and met a ton of guys through that. And what's his name? Jeff used to run these tournaments on Team Covenant and used to play a lot of tournaments with the Team Covenant guys. And that's where I met Ryan Fleming, who's on our team. I met Marco, who is the team captain for Italy. Just a lot of great players, and learned a lot from them over the years. And but got to go and experience some of live in-person X-Wing when I went back to America for a year and went to LVO and some other bigger tournaments. Got to go to Worlds, and like I said, yeah, just couldn't get enough of it. And so now I'm back in Japan, and since Corona started, I was reluctant at first to get into TTS because I hated it at the beginning, because I'm a true blue Vassal player. But I have to admit that TTS.
I was the same.
Yeah.
I totally get it. I was the same until about March. I think March last year. I think they made some big changes. And just shout out to those developers. You guys have done so much work, and it's truly appreciated. And honestly, now I can't go back to Vassal. I just say that, but I was exactly the same boat as you. I was like, no, Vassal all the way, man. I just love the 2D. Simple. It's clean cut, and it's just it's just the basics of it's the core of the game. But when TTS just grew on me,
right.
So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Big props to Muon for he's still keeping the Vassal train going. And I still like to play on Vassal when I practice, and it just feels more precise to me. It's just less frills and more, like you said, just true to the game.
No frills, none of the fancy stuff. It's just basically the basic mechanics, and it not dumbs it down, but it basically just brings you the core mechanics of it, and you don't have all the fancy looking stuff on it. It's just the basics. So I get it. I totally get it. I just haven't touched it
for
12 months.
Yeah, I haven't updated it in a while, but it's great for practicing. If you want to practice openings, if you want to practice formation flying, there's no better tool than Vassal, and it's still fun to get games in. But TTS is just keeps getting better and better, and it's really been fun to get into TTS, and of course now that I think Dion is really to blame for everything going to TTS. He started streaming it. And the stuff he does just looks beautiful.
100%.
It's so well done. And so he really, I think, was leading that charge, and it worked. And so everything's on TTS now. And so I've gotten used to it. I like it. I enjoy it, and happy that we get to play in XTC this year.
That's it.
We probably could never have taken a group of guys from Japan. I hope we can in the future, but this year, it's just a great way to get everyone's feet wet into the worldwide competitive scene. And so I'm hoping that these guys really get a hunger inside of them to go, and hopefully we can travel as a team in the future.
Well, give us a quick rundown. Who's in the team? You mentioned, I know you mentioned Ryan Fleming. I met him at Worlds, and we had a great game. But give me so those that don't know, I mentioned to you before, but my wife's Japanese, and we like to go back. We haven't been back for 2 years now. But when I'm going back, I'm going to be visiting. I'm lining up a meetup with you. But give us a rundown. Who's in the team? Who's in Team Japan?
Yeah, we have got a great team. I really do believe that. And so we have Keisuke, who is our Rebel player. Keisuke is responsible. I mean, he's been playing since the very beginning of 1.0. He has written and manages the Japanese X-Wing wiki, and he's done more to help the game grow here in Japan than anyone else. He wrote a Japanese tutorial for TTS to help more players get involved online here in Japan, and organizes a lot of things, get-togethers locally. Keisuke is a great guy, strong player. Sikyu is our Imperial player, really cutthroat Imperial diehard fan. Is a great guy for the Empire. Yeah, he's diehard Imperial guy. Loves the Empire. So we one of our first meetings that we had as a team, we were deciding factions, and he was like, Empire. Like no one else had a choice, and we were happy to give it to him. So I'm playing Scum for us. Our friend Ryo is playing Resistance. He lives here in Tokyo area, And so all the Japanese guys so far are from the Tokyo area. Joseph Woodworth playing FO, our first order player, and he lives out in Western Japan.
That's Raven Cat, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
Raven
who's
Cat.
in the
Yeah,
chat?
and he's been.
She's in the
Oh,
chat now.
great.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Joseph's a great guy. He's been playing longer than any of us. I think before maybe the core set was released, he's been playing and just been a diehard. Big proponent also for the scene here in Japan, building it up in the Kansai area. And we have Paul Adler is playing Republic. Met Paul 5 or 6 years ago playing on Vassal. He goes by the handle Interceptor. He's a really strong Imperial ace player, but he's playing Republic for us this time around. And then Ryan Fleming is playing CIS. So we joke with him. He kind of drew the short straw.
He's flying Separatist.
He's playing. Yeah, he was like, "I'll play whatever." He said
Okay.
he knew as soon as he signed up, he said, "I knew I'm gonna get stuck with CIS." And
All right.
Came to be true. So I wanted to pull Ryan in because Ryan has a lot of experience with the team tournament format and has been involved in a long running series of tournaments called the Outrider Cup that takes place in various places in America, and has taken a team from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania into that tournament since the very beginning, and has a lot of experience with matchups and strategy and Ryan's become a good friend over the years playing online. We hung out at World and at LVO, and that's where I first met Paul in person too. And we had a lot of fun hanging out and just talking about the game. So we didn't have enough Japanese players or guys living in Japan to fill a team. And so I put out a message on Discord, whoever wants to play, if you're interested, let me know. And we had 5 guys show up, and we could have 2 mercs. And so I asked the other guys, the Japanese guys, if I could bring in Ryan and Paul, and they were like, sure. And we've had a blast, man. Been meeting every week, having team meetings, talking about our strategy, and
yeah. So
the tournament hasn't even started, but it's already been so fun.
These 7 samurai are formed. Yeah, just for those
samurai. Yeah. Like Ultron, we have assembled and we're ready for some action now. Yeah.
I was just saying, you've got the 7 Samurai a picture based off the banner you've got there, and if you don't know, it's an old classic, like 1950, I think it is, black and white movie. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's a classic. Yeah, great story.
Akira Kurosawa. Yeah. A lot of American, even movies like Star Wars have stolen from 7 Samurai and Kurosawa. So, yeah, it's a great namesake for us.
All right. Well, let's go switch over to your group. Let's just bring that up first. So you guys are going to be in Group A. How are you feeling? No, you're not in Group A.
We're in E.
There we go. I got it. Sorry, guys. I did prepare some of this, but yeah, we are your Group E. So have a look in there. You got the Netherlands, you got Mexico, you got Denmark, Siberia, France, Switzerland, and of course, it's the 7 Samurai. So
the 7 Samurai, yeah.
How are we feeling with the random draw?
So many strong teams around the world. I think we dodged a bunch of big bullets, and so my initial response is, all due respect to all the teams in our pool, I think we got kind of best case scenario for us. I think we got some hard matchups, but no Poland, no Germany, no England. We really wanted to dodge USA with 4 Americans on the team. We really didn't want that to get awkward. We didn't want anyone to have to defect and permanently.
Yeah.
So, and we know all those guys. Ryan in particular has known those guys for a long time. And
quickly, Denmark. I'm sorry, I missed you. Not intentional. It's the IST at work here. Denmark, shout out. Absolutely not forgotten. Okay, sorry. I don't want any team hate my way. Okay, have to include everybody.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I am from Denmark and I want to join Japan. Hey, look, 7 Samurai so cool. So okay.
Move over here. We'll talk.
Well, what are you? Is there a particular match that you're looking forward to?
We have Switzerland first, and we'll do our pairings in about 24 hours. Um, Raphael, their team captain, is a guy I've played with a few times online, and really enjoy him. Looking forward to getting into the pairings. So that's the fun for me. I mean, the games will be fun too, of course, but the pairing is where I think the real magic happens.
Oh
That's
yeah,
where the games are won or lost. That's where the
absolutely.
matches are won or lost, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And
No,
so this is my first time to be a captain of a team like this, and but we've been talking a lot, man. Chatting every day, had a lot of team meetings, and I think we're ready. And so, um, yeah, a lot of players. I've not played many people from Mexico or Serbia. I've played some of the Netherlands guys before. Um, Honestly, I think they are this is their pool to lose. Netherlands. I think they're coming in as the strongest team, and so
like pressure's on them.
um,
They've
the
got that.
pressure's on them.
Yeah,
Yeah, they better perform.
absolutely. I
Um,
mean, it's
yeah,
like you guys are here for the ride. You make a splash. Hey, show that you can hold your own. But Netherlands, they were the seeded
yeah,
players. They've got to perform. You know,
right. Yeah, we're here to play, man. We're not going to lay down for anybody, and we're
absolutely.
going to
Yeah.
give them a run for their money. But I do think this is their pool to lose, coming in as the first seed. So,
Mm.
uh, yeah, it should be a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
It's a
A
pairing
lot of a lot of
you're not wanting to do. You're not looking forward to. Is there something you?
Well, we definitely didn't want USA, and
Yeah.
so we were happy when that didn't get matched up. No, I wouldn't say we're scared of anybody. I think we've got great lists. We've got a strategy, under our belt, ready to
You want
be
to share?
unleashed.
Do you want to share
So
that strategy? I mean,
I don't want to share. No, actually,
no, no, no,
we're
no.
gonna.
You got the audience here. They're all waiting. It's like, come on, come on, what do we got? What do you got? No.
No, we've got Babu Frick in our pocket. He's kind of come up with some new dice mods that we plan on using that is going to really help us win every game. So I can't say more than that.
All right.
No,
Well,
talk to me after the tournament. We can go over it.
okay. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what about spicy things? I mean, I've got your. Well, I was asking the group beforehand. What are your hot sauce recommendations? And you posted. You gave me the wasabi roll. So, is there any spicy predictions that you have in here? Did you,
Spicy predictions for our pool or for anything.
both, both.
Ah,
Do you think it's going to be any
you know,
upset? Do you think
I think I
okay?
think
Two questions. First question is,
England.
do you
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
do you think UK and Marcel are going to need any hot sauce?
One of them, somebody's going to be eating something, and so uh, they are really pumping up themselves and have a. I think they both have fantastic teams. So, but I don't know, man. There's going to be some upsets with
Oh
this
yeah,
many
that's going to be.
teams, 38 teams. 5 pools. It's going to be a long summer too. Lots going to happen. You got to keep up momentum and energy, and I think very few teams are going to be able to keep it up the whole time. So I don't think we'll see any 7-0s. I would be shocked if we did. Um, and it's just a long tournament.
It
I
is.
really love the format because whoever comes out on top is going to be the clear and true winner.
Yep.
There's no flukes in this format. That's something I really like about it.
Yep. Yep. No, you got to perform, and you got to face everybody.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
and question for Ravencat. Yes, only the top two teams from each group move on. So, well, who do you think are the top two in your pod? And you are allowed to say Japan because I want to
Yeah,
say
I'm gonna
Japan.
say Japan. I was talking with a friend I won't name the other day. He said it was really a fight for second in our pod after Netherlands, and so I have to go with my team. I think don't sleep on Japan. I know
Uh,
we have a lot of unknowns,
but that's the scary
but
part. It's scary for the other guys.
yeah, I mean, think about how the Japanese perform worldwide in any other game, any other, you know, industry. The Japanese are very industrious.
Mm.
They hate to lose. Very strategic, very hardworking, and I would say our team is exactly like that.
Yep.
And so these guys are hungry, and I would say don't sleep on Japan.
Mm.
So I'll say Japan and Netherlands. That's
That's your
my
call?
prediction.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Well, any closing smack talk before we switch out? More wasabi?
Wasabi. Yeah, I can send some grade A homegrown wasabi to Marcel or Ollie, whoever needs to be eating it.
There you go.
And if Poland doesn't win, then Bartosz's going to be getting some too, because
Love it.
the expectations are high. So nobody expects anything from Japan. The pressure's off of us. We're going to sneak in and shoot from behind, and I think make some waves.
Excellent.
So that's my
Well,
big
I'm
prediction.
gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking forward to streaming some of your games. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I got you all together is because I'm targeting these 6 teams. This I think are going to be in the Aussie time zone where we can stream, and I hope to stream some more of you and the team. So look, big thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Navi. See you around.
I'll see you around. Good luck.
Yeah. You too.
All right, guys. We'll be back in about 2-3 minutes as I switch over and get the next team captain on. Won't be long. Alrighty. Well, welcome, Blair from New Zealand. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you, and thank you for having me on. It's been quite a interesting challenge up to this point in terms of the XTC. A lot more admin than I was absolutely expecting. So that's a fun side of things.
Well, we're here to hype things up, and just so to
Yes.
keep it a little bit fresh, I'm going to bring Jarrett Taco is on to do the interview for this one, and we're going to take turns and switch around. So, Taco, take it away.
Hello, everyone. That's such a wonderful picture of myself. That's how I usually look, anyways, when I'm looking at my ships getting blown up. So, yeah. How are you?
Yeah, good. We've actually just spent the evening with the team running through our first pairing, which first one is actually against Peru, and just sort of getting the grips of the table sort of pairings, and it was really quite good to actually do a couple of dry runs because your theoretical or what you think is going to happen inevitably sort of falls apart after the first pairing, and you're like, oh shit, did we pair this with this one, or so understanding how we end up getting to the third pairing and what where the weak points are and understanding the lists. We've been very fortunate to have a couple of very I think the couple of guys that have computers for brains. They're very analytical type people that have done sort of spreadsheets and all sorts of calculations to help us out with the pairing. So I'm eternally grateful for those guys. It should be a bit of an autopilot for me to do the pairings, which is great.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's a lot of work involved. 'Cause,
It really is.
Fred,
Yeah.
you have to prepare ready for a normal competition, right? Like competition, have space or extended. I just like focus this, but then now you're in charge. You're responsible for 7 matchups. And the also you tell me about yourself. Have you in championships or have
Sorry,
you?
Taco. Sorry, your mic's breaking up an awful
Hello?
lot.
Yeah.
Okay, it's better.
Are you get
Is it-
anything? I don't know if you can do anything with your connection, or you do not got your camera running, right? You said it was
Yeah.
causing problems
It's
before.
It's very
it's
hard to read.
yeah.
Hard to hear.
It's is it better? It's not.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
yeah.
all good.
Oh, oh,
Otherwise, I was
just
going to say
make sure.
restart your Discord.
Yeah.
Okay. Where was I last? Yeah. You've So Blair, you've been in team championships, the Oceanic team championships before, haven't you?
Yeah. So I played back in 2018. We took a team to over to Aussie. We did actually quite well. I think we missed.
How'd you do? How'd you do?
We got a very very close third. So it was a sort of a round robin with I think it was eight teams, and we ended up losing the last match by MOV of about 2 or 3 points. And
Wow,
then
that's so close.
yeah, I think it was like the pairing that we lost it on was both. It was a mirror match with 2 Ryads that were both tooled out, but the opponent's one was worth 2 or 3 points more than our one, and just ended up going to time. And because of that, we ended up losing and just coming third. And then so that was pretty close, but I think we did a lot better than what people expected. And then certainly the following year, which I didn't attend, we made it all the way to the final, and I think it even came down to a tiebreaker. So I think a lot of the New Zealanders we're very happy that we're running an odd number per team. So rather than having to come down to tiebreakers, it's always going to be 4-3 or 5-2 sort of thing.
Yep.
So that's
Yeah,
definitely a bonus.
Seems like the New Zealanders, like your team is the Kiwis are pretty good, pretty decent at acting. I from the results here.
I think certainly one of the things we have going for us is no one knows who we are. So it was quite amusing listening to the Gold Squadron podcast. Was it last night or whenever it was? And I think they ended up actually running through all of our names and sort of said me and then Matt and Cameron. And I don't think they recognised any of us. Maybe Cam, because I think he did well in one of the GSP Galaxies events. But it's definitely a blessing for us because we know that we've got some really good players We've got several players that are actually either qualified for next Worlds or did really well at the SOS a couple of years ago as well. So we're not
That's great. I
typically
mean,
ones to. Oh, sorry.
yeah, it's like almost like an unknown quantity for your opposition.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
So tell me more. Introduce me about your players and which ones are playing which faction and yeah,
Sure.
how yeah.
So I've just start with myself. I'm playing Scum faction. Not really my preferred faction, but we sort of managed to pair up pretty much all the other sort of 5 or 6 to the factions that they wanted. So I ended up sort of taking a faction that I wouldn't normally take, but having said that, I've managed to find a list that that sort of works for my play style, I think, which is really good. And I think also is quite good in terms of the overall meta to, for a lot of the top end players tend to lean towards like aces or higher initiative guys. So the list that I'm taking is sort of targeted towards taking them down a peg or two. We've got. Sorry, are you still there? Lost you.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So then we've got Ryan Patton, who he's played in some of the OTC events before. Really good player from. Typically, most of the guys are from the main 3 cities here in New Zealand. So we've got Christchurch, Wellington, and Auckland. So Ryan is from down south in Christchurch. He's playing Rebels. It's got a really sort of interesting list. I think you'll find that a lot of the lists that we're running, very few of them are what you'd call the sort of the meta lists. I think we've got one list that's probably what most people are sort of would consider a meta list. He's playing something that's slightly a bit different in terms of Rebels. A lot of people are just sort of running the Focus Factory option.
I believe it's this is a classic. I'm looking at the list right now. The West Antilles, the Proton R3, Luke, Instinct, Proton, and Ahsoka with the A-Wing, the really nice A-Wing with Patience, and the 194. That's definitely similar to some of the, like I said, the token stacking list, para list we've been seeing in Rebels. Made him decide what the teams out of this. Hello?
Tucker, can't hear you. Are you breaking up?
Really bad.
Really breaking
really washing out.
Yeah. Can you, I'll tell you what, I'll just take over, restart your Discord, jump back in. I'll get on to the next question just because I'm not following, and I'm pretty sure everyone else isn't as well. But you're talking about.
Let me just look again.
The
rebel list.
Your rebel list.
Yeah. So it's sort of a very much a sort of high-end alpha type list that against certain matchups you can really Wedge with Protons is just an absolute wrecking ball. So against certain lists you can really sort of knock someone for 6 and they just can't come back from it. So it's very much sort of a scalpel type list that adds a nice sort of difference of a point of difference from the rest of the lists. And Ryan's sort of been playing a similar sort of list for a while, so I think he will do quite well with that list, as long as we can get him the right pairings. I think it's the sort of list that has quite a few not so great matchups, but if we can just get him paired in the right one, he should be doing some really good damage.
Is that kind of like your strategy? Going to do get the right pairings? That's what you're planning?
Certainly, I think as I was saying to Garrett earlier, like we've put a lot of effort into the pairing matchups in terms of reviewing opponents' lists, giving our own assessment of what our preferences are in terms of pairings, crunching the numbers and going, right, well, best to pair this one with this one, and with exceptions, obviously, if we've got a particular boogeyman list that we need to get rid of. And if we can maybe pair that up with one of the squads that's not really great versus the rest of their team, then we can sort of go, okay, we'll throw that one under the bus, but then we hope to sort of get 4 or 5, because I mean the key is, right, you've got to win 4 matches. So if you sacrifice 1 match to win 2 more, that's a win, right? So I think that it's all about understanding that you can't always go for 7 7 green matches. You're never going to get that. So if you make a 1 red match to make 2 or 3 green matches, then absolutely that's the right call. So and as I said, like before, like most of our lists, with exception of Mike in the FO list with the Malorus Swarm, I think pretty much all of our lists, none of them sort of fall into a typical sort of what people are expecting. Like perfect example, the 6 of the 8 squads in our pool are running Zam Django. It's just insane. So, I mean, it's funnily enough, our first round matchup is Peru, who them and us are the only ones that aren't running Zam Django as their CIS list. So, whilst it is a powerful list, it's also a list that a lot of people not necessarily have a good matchup for, but they are aware of it. They have particular strategies to fight against it, and it's a little bit more predictable. So, something similar to the Focus Factory and certainly with the Malora Swarm, I guess, as well. Yeah. But I guess just trying to have that point of difference to give yourself an option, give your opponents something to think about in terms of not actually having an obvious list that they might think that they have a good matchup, and then we sort of know, well, actually we've played this, we've tested it, we know we've got a better matchup here. So I think it's one of those things where you acknowledge that you can't go toe to toe with a heavy hitter like Germany in our group. Everyone's just basically said, right, Group B is going to be Germany plus 7 other guys have a shit fight to see who's going to get the second place, and that may very well be the case. But at the end of the day, you pick your battles and you play to your strengths and minimize your weaknesses and hope you get that four wins. So that's sort of key.
Okay, yeah. So speaking of the pot, so you think Germany's in it to win it? I mean,
it's a pretty much a laundry list of some pretty heavy hitters in terms of the actual players themselves, but also some of the players, they're very, very competent with specific lists. So some of their lists are a little bit out there. So their scum player is playing Brobots, for example, but it's a guy that's played the heck out of that list and knows it inside and out. Apparently their rebel player is playing like Han Jake Wedge or Han Jake Luke, I think. Again, absolutely knows that list inside out and has just been tearing it up with it. So, I think a lot of the groups, the teams in our group probably, they're not going to go in expecting to win that match. I mean, if they get a win from it, man, it's just going to be great. But I think everyone's sort of going, okay, well, this is just going to be right. We just need to go X and 1, just beat everyone else except Germany. So, see how we go.
All right, I got one question before I hand back over to Tako is, do you feel that there's a bit of disrespect with the misspelling of New Zealand?
I did see that. No, I mean I don't mind. Like again, it comes down to that unknown quantity, right? Like as I said, we've got some exceedingly competent players. I was going to say New Zealand. We're not ones for blowing our own horn sort of thing. My record is pretty good. Sort of top 8 at Aussie Nats a couple of years ago. Final at New Zealand Nats a couple of years ago, and made day 2 top 80 at Worlds, last Worlds. Certainly nothing to sneeze at, and but it's not something that we sort of go around telling everybody. So. It's just one of those things where hopefully the sort of lack of information is one thing that's going to work in our favour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Taka, you still there?
Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah. We're good. All right. You want to continue with the questioning?
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Let's see. So you talk about that. So what kind of pairing do you look forward to the most? Not just in, just talk about the groups. Like, are you looking forward to New Zealand versus which particular country? I mean, you're up against Peru the first.
Yeah. Well, I think, funnily enough, as it's sort of saying in terms of the list diversity, I think Peru was probably the other group or other team in the group that they don't have Zam Django, but they've also got probably a more heavily slanted team against aces. I think they've got some really heavy swarm lists.
I've seen that.
Some real boogeyman type lists, like the 5 Seek list, all packing Auto Blasters or things like that. So I think that they're definitely a very interesting sort of team to looking at the lists. I'm not particularly familiar with many of the players. I mean, it's the same sort of thing.
Right.
We're not going to disrespect anyone just because we don't know who they are. Like, we go in assuming that everyone we play against is as competent, if not more than what we are. So I think it's a fool's errand to assume your opponents are lesser players.
Right.
So certainly, I think looking forward to that one. That's going to be good. Definitely looking forward to the Germany one, just in terms of matching up your metal, seeing how good you can be against one of the sort of so-called best
Mm-hmm.
teams going. And
Right.
probably the other one is actually Iceland. I met a lot of the guys from the Iceland team. It was
The
a couple
Dual
of years ago.
Squadron, I believe.
Yeah, like the
Many of them are in Dual Squadron.
yeah, they're just amazing guys,
Yes,
and
they're
they
fun,
themselves,
easily, yeah.
they really do punch above their weight for their population. I mean, I think they've got hardly anyone lives there, but man, they're just really good at this stuff. So,
Yeah.
no, they're great guys, and it'll be good to play them. Like I'm aware that there will no doubt be teams that to take this really really seriously, and I absolutely understand that. That's absolutely fine, but it's always those games where there's a little bit less tension and you can just enjoy yourself playing those games. I think that's always a nice aspect. You can have it be competitive, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be that sort of real knuckle breaking type sort of situation. So
That's true. Do you think in a team championships when you can get to affect some of the matchups you get for particular lists, you tend to go for all comer lists, or are you looking out for more for like specialized lists that okay, like I have this particular faction here, this particular list can definitely beat, like you said, like maybe like aces, or so I'll keep it in my pocket, waiting to see when they throw out their ace list. You counter with that. Is that kind of this strategy in the pairing?
Yeah, definitely. Like I think we've got sort of two lists that we sort of have as our starting list, I guess, in terms of what you put out. And I think a lot of people will be in a similar situation where they'll probably run out what you consider to be your most generic all-comers list that doesn't necessarily have a particular bad matchup, but doesn't have a great matchup either. And you can sort of run that with hoping to maybe snag one of your opponent's sort of boogeyman lists. And sort of have a 40-60 matchup if you can, but also means that you're not worried about that list getting paired against something else down the track that's more of like an 80 20-80. So I think for us in terms of what we've probably got two sort of general like full blown jouster or like all comers type lists, but then the other five very much are either a little bit of that, but also they have something, whether it's ace hunting or whether it's a bit of whether it's sort of the alpha strike type style, or we've got our imperial list is quite interesting. I don't think anyone will see that one coming. But funnily enough, the guy that is playing it is extremely good at what he does when he plays Imperials. He made top 8 at SOS in Aussie a couple of years ago, playing Rexler and two jerking Phantoms. So again, very unexpected lists, but his play style and how he plays it is probably what will catch people out, and certainly the list itself. I think it's
interesting.
Like Whistler and then just throwing bombs everywhere, and
So for the listeners out there, it's Matt Collett with the list out for Galactic Republic representing New Zealand. It's a Whisper, Grand Inquisitor, and Death Rain. Wow, you're right. Death Rain is
Death Rain's pulled out. He's got a lot of toys.
It's a lot of toys. Trajectories, proton torpedoes, ion missiles, thermal deaths, wow, this is a lot of stuff on Death Rain. And I'm excited to see how much damage this Death Rain can do before, he uses his ability. Let's just euphemistically call that.
So he's got, I think I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think he's got something that gives it reinforce. He might have the angles deflectors or something. I forget.
Yes, correct. Wow, that is even. Wow, that's mad, man. That's a madman, and I respect him so much for that.
As I said, it's a very intriguing list. It's the sort of list where even if you wanted to test against it, you can't find someone who knows the lists how Matt does, who can play it against you. So, it's that sort of list, like that. Those are the sort of aspects that we've got in probably 2 or 3 of our squads that a lot of people just, even if they want to test against it, they just can't because they don't know how the list plays, and they certainly don't know how our players will play them as well. And that's just that aspect of, having a little bit of something that you just can't buy in terms of experience. It's just, something different. So,
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's sort of the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Any like other than the stuff that you talked about in terms of pairings and things like that. Do you have any other like predictions or advice for the other teams, the other team captains who may be listening in desperately trying to get ready for this event.
Yeah. I mean,
compared to
they
New Zealand.
just need to get their dartboards out and start throwing, get blindfolds in the dartboards and seeing if they can, blindly guess what our strategy is. I mean, if we don't know what our strategy is going to be, then they certainly don't know what the strategy is going to be. Right?
Yeah, chaos.
Yes,
Indeed.
absolutely chaos. Yeah, chaos reigns. Yeah.
Yes, that's fantastic there. Yeah. So, any shout outs? Any team helpers that you have not mentioned yet?
Yeah. So obviously, we've got Paul Johnson, who made top 40 at Worlds 2 years running. Aussie national champ, New Zealand national champ. He's only good enough to get on the subs bench. But
Oh wow! Oh, okay. That's I mean, that says much about your current team, yeah.
He was begging us to get on the team, but no, it's him and one of our other X-wing geniuses here in Wellington, Chris Furno, is our sort of tactician. So those two are the ones that have been really crunching the numbers on getting spreadsheets sorted and trying to understand. Like, it's that, we put in the information and we have our own biases, but at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. So hopefully we can avert our own biases and make sure we get the right numbers. So Chris Fino and Paul have been putting a lot of legwork in, and we really hope it pays off. The whole team has been, but just to have a couple of guys that aren't actually playing week in, week out, and to be putting in that effort, we really appreciate it. So yeah.
No, that's great. I mean, part of the benefit, like you said, of playing Slamming that's not just, right on the meta, is that you get to have a lot of more data, or at least not more information about those current lists that's running around. Like you said, Django Zam has been running around, and people have played it enough that it's not too difficult to, for example, look at past games that people have played, or even ask someone that is familiar with that list to play it against you. And so you can have, like I said, data. Data is important. Yeah. And are you hoping that through these few, as the series goes on, I mean, because you have to play against all the other team, one team a week, that the later teams, the later teams, they will start to catch on to how Team New Zealand plays, or are you confident? Are you confident?
It's an interesting one, because we, in terms of our pairing, so they were just sort of released maybe an hour or so ago that I managed to find them for the whole schedule. Certainly I think we've got Germany third last and we've got Iceland last, so probably two of what we perceive to be our hardest matchups are in that last bracket. So I mean, the good way to look at it, we hope to go into the final three games at 4-0. I mean, sure, why not? Hope's a beautiful thing, but certainly if we could put enough pressure on in the first few rounds to pick up some wins where people don't necessarily think we will, that can really sort of put a psychological sort of damper on certain people. But as I said, we're just hoping to play to our ability, understand what our limitations are, but at the same time, we've tried to maximize the variance that we can bring into the game by making it a lot harder for people to predict what we're going to play, how we're going to play. The aim of the game is to make it as hard as possible for your opponent to win. So that's what we're going to try and do. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Gotta think tactically, but also strategically there. So yeah, thank you again, Blair, for coming on and giving a shout out to the countries on this side of the world. Really appreciate it. Yep. Nobby, any questions that you have for Blair? Any final words? Any New Zealand Anzac camaraderie, or
I did have one. I had one question, and he told me this before, but I think it's put on areas. What was your hot sauce recommendation?
Oh, absolutely. It's got to be the New Zealand staple. It has to be tomato sauce. Okay. So, yeah. We don't really do hot sauce in this country. I mean, there's some crazy people out there, and I don't know why they do it to themselves, but it's a well-known New Zealand tradition to ruin perfectly good food by slathering it with tomato sauce. So yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough. Right, well, thank you for your time. I'm going to switch over. We've just hit 777 followers, so I've got to do a giveaway. And then we're going to go straight into the next one. So, look, Blair, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for going out of your way and doing this live. Much appreciated.
Appreciate it. No, thank you very much. Great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, just switch over. All right, guys. So firstly, thanks for everybody who's been following, and thanks for the new followers that we have got. We have hit 777, and because of that, we are going to do a giveaway. I'm pretty sure that's what Shane wanted. We got giveaway. All you have to do is type in the chat. If you're not there doing it now, you've got about 3 minutes before we get on to the next one. But that one's actually all ready to go. So, oh look, now we can't do a giveaway. Someone's giving us an extra follow. I'm kidding. We'll still do the giveaway. So the giveaway is going to be for one of these cinematic, in fact not one, all 3 of the cinematic versions that Shane Monk has done. Let's bring it up. I'm trying to bring it up without the thingy. Let me just turn off this. Let's turn off the background. There we go. 3 very, very nice cards. There's Ray, there is Jake, and there is Yoda. So these 3 cards are going to be up for grabs, and we might actually do one after each of the interviews. I don't know. What do you guys think? All you need to do, type in the chat. Giveaway. All right. Here we go. Are you drunk? We can't see. Not yet. I'm working on it. What do you mean? I'm drinking iced tea. Nothing to get drunk on. More stuff. Giveaway. All right. Let's go. Where we go? Where's we go? Roll for it. Wookie Barber. I was already going to give you a set. I think we have to re-roll it. Because I'm already going to give you a set because I know you are smashing the points. You were going to get this anyway, so I'm going to re-roll it. Hand it off. Here we go. Madam Duke. I'm totally not rigging this. We'll let the Wookiee win. Didn't you already get a set, Madam Duke? If you're there in the chat, let me know. Do you want to give it away? This is super rigged. Super rigged. Rigged. Absolutely. Rigged. Okay. She's telling me re-roll it. Very rigged. All right, let's go. Paint strip. There you go. Paint strip. I'm going to send this off to you, but don't worry. We're going to do one after each of the chats. Each of the little chats. Put one aside for you. If you can just type ! give me. Paint strip hasn't got one. No, I'm going to send one off the paint strip. Let's pick. That is KP from the Singapore team. We'll see that he gets one. All right. Paint strip is yes. Should I, Shane? No. Do you want to re-roll again? No. We'll leave it. We'll give him another chance. Well, I'm going to keep on re-rolling 3 times. It's going to be too rigged. All right, fish cake. You can do that. Save me on the postage. Okay, so we've got the next up. We actually have Malaysia. Now, Malaysia was done by Louis. Louis was not able to do this live, so I did have a pre-recording before we started. Wait, re-roll. I'm being told to re-roll it. Re-roll it. All right. If you insist. I mean, twisted my arm here. All right, here we go. Sakuda Joe. There you go. Sakuda Toe. I'll send it off to Sakuda Joe. I'll talk to him later. I'll give him a direct meeting. I'll give it to KP. All right. Here we go. Congratulations, Joe. You got some cards. And now, for the video. Good evening, and we are here joined by Louis Leong from Team Malaysia. How are you, Louis?
Very good, thanks. Great to be on.
So, we are doing the, once again, we're doing the XTC team discussion, talking out from the team captains for XTC, you know, and getting their little impression on how they're feeling about everything. And to start with, Louis, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so, well, I was actually born in Singapore, but I'm Malaysian. I still have my Malaysian passport. I now live in the UK. I actually got started in X-Wing probably just before 2.0 hit, just to see some of the Imrandas and stuff going around. And then really got into it after 2.0, started playing kitchen table and then down at the local club. Eventually started going to tournaments, and it's kind of been a bit of a journey. I actually wrote an article on it, which you can provide a link or people can find it. It's called "How to Win Worlds in 4 Easy Steps," and that kind of catalogs in very brief paragraphs my X-Wing journey right up to Worlds 2019.
I did actually read that. That was a really nice
Oh,
pod.
there you go. Yeah, I haven't written anything since or before, so it's just the one off.
But I do remember seeing that, and it was a good little read. I do remember. I'm going to find that out, and I'll get a
It's
link for
funny
that a little
because
later.
yeah, it's funny because Ollie Pocknell read it shortly after I published it, and then he sent it out, and he made a post that said, "Guys, this is the most amazing thing ever." And then a couple of weeks later, he went and won Worlds. So I went and saved that, and I said, "Look what I did.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
claim credit. That's me."
Speaking of which, I see the shirt there, the 186. Tell us a little bit about this. I mean, you're playing for Team Malaysia, so what's this collusion with the 186?
I can confirm nor deny. But the 186, so 186, they're London based, and I'm London based, and I got to know quite a lot of people there, and actually met a lot more when we went to Worlds. I wasn't part of the 186 when Ollie won, but shortly after coming back, they invited me in, and I couldn't really say no. Bunch of really great guys know their X-wing. I think my knowledge of X-wing and ability to play and interest in the game has sort of just gone since I joined, which is amazing. Really cool bunch of guys. Um, and yeah, we've got obviously I'm in Team Malaysia. There are a couple of guys in Team England. Ollie's obviously the captain of that one. We've got Team Ireland and Team Sweden also represented within the squadron, which is really cool.
Yeah, you get like you're all in. Are you in all pods then? Almost. I think you're in.
Oh, I don't know. I guess we must be at least 4 of the 5. I think. I don't think we're in each other's groups.
Yeah, you got a lot of coverage over there. I think you got Ireland, and you got Group C, you got Group B, you got Group A, and anything in Switzerland.
Sweden. Which group was Sweden in?
Sweden is in Group E, so actually Group D avoided all of the 186. So we should be happy.
Oh, lucky you guys.
All right. So I also hear that you make all the art cards.
Yeah, that was part of the journey. I think it's actually one of those things. It's said a lot, and I think it bears repeating again. When I little community, when I went there, someone would give. Why am I getting that? No, we just give stuff away. So when I went to System Open in 2019, I thought, you know what, I want to be one of those guys. I'm going to make my own little card, and I was flying a Imperial squad, which was Whisper, Echo, and 2 gunboats at the time. So I love Echo. Echo's my favorite. So I made an Echo card, and I thought, well, and made it. And I wanted to make it in metal because all of a sudden that seemed like a really good idea. And it was super popular. I made 2 cards, one of Echo and Whisper, and one of Boba and Fen. And they sold out within a week. I made 100 cards of each, and they just disappeared. Which gave me a bit of pocket money, and obviously the idea that this is something which people like. And I just went from there, basically. Every time I got an idea for a new card, I think, the Chrome Naboo fighter coming out, maybe if I just did it with like a mirror finish, I could do something really cool there. And that became the Chrome Naboo card. And I make these primarily to give away to people that I play. When I was playing in person, I was just giving them away to everyone I played. And then since we've moved to online, typically when I take part in the online tournaments, I will send a card off to the person who I just played.
Oh, that's very nice. That's great. That's community building right there. And
Yeah, I
that's
think
really nice.
You get a lot from this community, and it's nice that I can give a little something back as well.
Absolutely. All right, so give us a little bit of breakdown of the team.
So the team, yeah, I'm super chuffed that we managed to get a Team Malaysia together. I didn't really know whether it would work. When XTC was announced, I was never going to qualify one. So I asked the guys, is there a Team Malaysia? And they said, nope, you can be captain if you want. I thought, okay, great. The first thing I did was like, who do I know who's Malaysian and might play for us? And I didn't really know anyone. So I asked XY in Singapore, who I met at Worlds, and I said, XY, do you know any Malaysians who might want to play? And he said, let me put you in touch with the Malaysian WhatsApp chat group, and you can see. And I posted in there. I said, hi guys, I don't know any of you, and you don't know me, but I'm looking for 8 players to join to play XTC. And most of them were like, what is XTC? But yeah, within a couple of days, we had some volunteers, and it's fantastic because a lot of them all come from a little club near Kuala Lumpur, which is the capital of Malaysia. They play in a shop called the Attic, and it's a really close knit community, which I've discovered now. I think as soon as they all said, "Hey, we're going to take part in this," they started helping each other, doing little training matches, advice on what kind of squads to bring. So there's a really good scene going on there, and it's really cool that they've been able to step into this sort of bigger online X-Wing world, and I'm delighted to be able to be a part of that.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I've got the photo up there, and that's what I think one of the main parts of X-Wing is having that community, and and spending time. I think the team events are really, really great. Because you're suddenly not every man for himself. It's you're in a group and you're cheering for your own teammates to do well. So it's great. It's great. Really, really good. All right. So you guys were paired into Group A. Let me bring that up.
We were, yeah.
So we got Poland, Brazil, Italy, Singapore, Norway, Greece, you guys, and the Czech Republic. So I mean, any matchup you're looking forward to?
Oh, all of them. I think they're all going to be great fun. Obviously, Italy's the first one up. That's going to be a real test because it's the first time any of us are doing XTC or team tournament. It's the first time I'm doing the uh, the matchup process, which is going to be really really interesting just to see how that pans out. I think it's super strategic, and I'm really scared I'm going to get it wrong and then basically throw my entire squad under the bus and say, guys, you know how we had preferred matchups we all really wanted? We didn't get any of them. We got all the opposites. Sorry, um, and that's going to be on me. So obviously that's going to be interesting. Singapore is of course going to be a fantastic sort of mini grudge match. If the geography, Singapore, Malaysia, it's funny because there's that rivalry, but it's also a really close community. The Malaysian guys go to Singapore, Singaporean guys come over to Malaysia, so they all know each other really well. So that's going to be a really cool game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm rooting for Singapore. I mean, that could be because we've been working together for quite a while now, and they're really good, really good. Yes, Singapore, I think is the wild card in that group A. I mean,
Yeah, I think it was kind of harsh on Singapore to be, outside the seeds in
yeah,
such a way that, for me, they are the ones who, wherever they ended up, that was going to be the group of death.
yeah.
So just happens we're in it too. So at the same time, Singapore are like, guys, can you go and beat Italy and beat Poland for us so we can get into those top two spots? I'm like, well, if you want to help with my matchup strategy and a few more practice matches, come give us a hand and we can do what we can do.
Well, I'm just gonna say like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly. So, Team Singapore, if you're watching this, come and help us out.
Yeah.
That's not really smack talk. I know you want to smack talk,
No,
but
we'll get
we
to that. We'll
are.
get to that. That's okay. It's Singapore. It's okay. We'll
Let
as
me
I
put
said,
out let me put out the call for help first, and then later on, I will do the reverse psychology of challenging them and saying they're never going to win or something.
Oh, all right. And what are you not looking for? Is there any match that you do not really want to face? You can't say all of them
I,
either. You can't. You.
Obviously Poland is the one which is they are they are some of the best X-Wing players in the world. Each and every single one of them. I think you just look down the names. If you look down the names and then you Google them in like tabletop.to, they're basically always in the top of every tournament. So it's going to be really really tough match. But at the same time, it's fantastic for some of the guys in Malaysia who literally some of them were installing TTS a week ago. For them to be able to play the likes of Bartosz and Agatha is like, yeah, that's such
Exactly. Yeah.
it's playing the best players in the world, and that's kind of what you want to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the great thing is we're doing international X-wing without the flight ticket. I mean, I'm still paying off from the last trip out I did, and yeah, it's expensive, and then now it's like what, like $20 for TTS, and away you go, and you can play some of the best people in the world. I mean, it's fantastic. Um,
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, what are your pod predictions?
What predictions? I actually made a form for this.
You did. You did.
I don't know if you saw. I put it on the fly better because I think there was a bit of chat going on and people were like throwing out predictions. So you know what, we should just put it in a form and then it's all recorded there. I never filled out the form myself. I made the form and
Oh,
so I
okay.
should
Well, yeah,
probably go and do
you,
that.
you can give us your predictions. No, no, no cheating. You're not allowed to go to the form and get your research.
Yeah, shall I go and see what everyone else said? No, I don't know enough about the international X-Wing scene or who all the top players are. I think it's one of those things, especially for having played quite a lot of online X-Wing in the last year and a bit. You kind of realize that everyone has got some game as well, even the ones in the sort of so-called smaller countries, because they have a different meta, because they play a different way, because they play a different list. You end up with a situation where you never really know what you're flying up against. It might be really janky, and then they come at you and you expect them to do one thing and they do something completely different. So I think it's a point that Ollie likes to make, that the meta in the US is typically very small, whereas the meta in Europe, because we've got all the different countries, ends up really being really big. So the Europeans playing each other, there's a lot of cross-pollination. It's going to be really interesting to see which of the outside teams create some upsets, and I'm really hoping there's some upsets in the weeks to come, and hopefully Malaysia can be part of that. But we'll see.
Hey,
That said,
you take out Poland?
I'm not gonna. Yeah, well, that's a Singapore Malaysia 1-2 for Group A would be really good. So let's go with that. Let me see. Group B, I think you can't really look past Germany. Icelandics are great. I love those guys. Don't know much about all the others. I should probably know something about Scotland, but I can't tell you who's on the Scottish team. Group C, there's no way England doesn't come out of Group C. Those guys are way too good.
No, you can't say that here. No. Oh wait, you're sponsored by. I guess your team. I guess you have to do a teammate. Yeah, okay. I'll allow it this time.
There are four 186 in Team England, and those are some of the best guys in the 186. So you can't go wrong. I don't know about the rest. Probably have to say Ireland, otherwise Cormac will kill me. But who knows? We'll see. Canada. Canada is
Colombia.
Proper dark horse there. If they're not one of the favourites, then they've got to be a dark horse for Canada.
Yeah.
Group D, Sweden, Spain. Those are the big guys. Australia, obviously. So probably between those three. Yeah. There you go, Marcel. There's your smack talk. Group E. Who have we got in here? Netherlands, Mexico, Denmark, Serbia. I don't know anything about any of these guys. So pick two.
Pick two, random, through roll of dice.
Yeah.
Japan
Netherlands.
also. Yeah, Japan. Netherlands.
Japan, yeah. Asian buddies. Asian brothers.
Yeah. All right.
There you go.
Yeah, beautiful. Any hot sauce predictions?
I haven't actually been following. What is the hot sauce prediction going on?
Well, Ollie first made the claim that, Ollie made the claim to Marcel that if either USA or Team England do not make the next stage, right, the captain who do not make it have to go on the other person's podcast and do answer trivia questions and drink hot sauce if they fail a trivia. Now that escalated because Ollie was so confident that he will be going 7-0, or his team, Team England, will go 7-0 in the pod, right? That if he does not go 7-0 and win all the matches against all the countries in the pod, he will then have to do the hot shots, the hot sauce shots. And Marcel just has to make it out. Marcel just has to make it out of the group of death, and Australia would hopefully like to make sure that won't be happening. So that's what the hot sauce bet is about. And being a 186, maybe you can influence the team to maybe take a dive if they're going 6-0 and ensure that we as the audience gets to watch Ollie have hot sauce. I mean.
Now you said that, there are three England players in the 186, and it's quite possible they will just go and take a dive themselves for the sake of putting Ollie under that hot sauce. I wouldn't put it past them, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, no, definitely go Australia. My wife is Australian, and my daughter too, therefore. So definitely supporting you guys to get out of Group T.
All right. We'll try to do our part. I can tell you that. I mean, Khan's going to be on I think later. I think because sorry guys, this is a pre-recorded, so the chat unfortunately not involved in this one. But this one was pre-recorded because of time zones being in UK there, so we did this one beforehand. Alrighty, hot sauce. So now we did mention the collusion possibly for 186, but I don't think that will play a part. We won't discuss that on air. But team advice. What are your going into this? What are your team strategies going into this match? You mentioned blind pairings. I mean,
strategies. we have a plan. No, I think the guys are all really good. I think I didn't get a chance to talk about some of the individuals in the Team Malaysia, but there's some guys who have a lot of experience playing and have a lot of experience sort of thinking about the game as well. The first Malaysian Open winner is on our squad. We've got a couple of guys who we've played it quite a lot in sort of Singapore and regionally. And one guy's claim to fame is that he once beat Justin Phua, the Singaporean former world champion, using a Jakku gunrunner. So that's their claim to fame. No, I think in terms of strategy, we kind of look at the lists as I guess everyone else does. We try not to look too much at the players because I don't know anything about the players, but we look at the lists and think where do we think we are slightly better off, or where do we think we're slightly worse off? What are the matchups we want? What's the matchup we don't want? And then it's up to me to try and make sure we get that pairing in the strategy game.
Okay. No, that was a bit more serious response than I was actually expecting, but I appreciate it. Appreciate you sharing.
I mean, I'm trying my best to put some substance behind the strategy, but quite frankly, it's kind of I'm going to go onto go onto TTS and flip some cards and say, yeah, my Republic's going to go against. Oh crap, we didn't want to go against either of those teams.
No, you just put the cards together. You stack them up in one. You press R and then you put one down. That is the ultimate power play.
press R and skim them off the top.
Yeah, and then just put one down and go, okay, that's our card. And they'll be like, they won't know what to do. They'll
we should have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We actually had a discussion. We were talking about all the squads, and then we submitted it right on the deadline. I think I was 1 minute late. So sorry about that, Piffo. But literally about 6 hours later, I was chatting to the team, and I said, guys, why didn't we make 7 squads with Hondo in it? And everyone's like, we totally missed a trick. That's what we should have done. We should have had 7 squads that all had Hondo in it in some way, shape, or another. And that would have been so much more fun. But as it is, we're actually going to give it a go.
Hey, well, look, all you have to do is make it out of the groups, and then you can do that.
And then we can do it for finals day. Yeah, that's a plan. So
there you go.
Yeah, win all our games 7-0, and then we can bring Hondo to XTC finals weekend.
I like that plan. You have my backing. I mean, I was going to cheer for Singapore, but now I have a reason to cheer for you guys. I want to see a Hondo final. Any last smack talk would you like to lay down? Any challenges?
No, not really. I think it's we'll leave the smack talk to the Americans. They like to do that kind of thing. We're in this for the giggles and the laughs, and just to be part of the fun event and the community. I think that for the Malaysians, it's great for them to see a little bit more of the wider world and put some of them on the map as well, because I think by the time we're done, some of them will have got some victories which they will remember, and hopefully the world will remember, and they can take back to the club.
Absolutely.
The community there is really, from what I've been hearing and reading and seeing, it's really tight knit. So I'm sure they'll all be supporting us, and as soon as we know which ones are going to be streamed, some of them will be waking up at stupid o'clock in the morning to watch it. But
hey, look, I'm hoping that
shout out to all the other guys in our team.
Yep.
In our pod. What's the long list? Brazilians, Croatians, not Croatians, Czech. What were they? I can't remember now. There's Poland, there's Italy, there's Brazil, there's Czech Republic, and
Greece,
Singapore. There's us and one more.
Norway.
Well, anyway, Norway, of course. To all of you guys, looking forward to playing with you guys. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I want to try and stream. One of the reasons why I'm getting you and the rest of the Southeast Asia Oceanic team captains on is because I wanted to try and target you guys and try and get your stream, some of your games on and stream it all on. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do. So I'm hoping that, yes, I will be able to help you highlight Malaysia. So go Team Malaysia.
Yeah, look forward to it. Thanks very much, mate.
No.
Good to be on. Good to chat to you.
Louis, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you taking a good chunk out of your day out of the way and joining us for this. So good luck to you.
Thanks, and hopefully we'll do this again just before finals weekend, right?
That's it. I want to see this. I want to see this all Hondo team go forward.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Alrighty, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. So Louis actually reached out to me, and he was doing giveaways. And you know what? He's offered a giveaway. We actually have one of those Hera and Ahsoka metal cards are going to come into me. It's going to be a little bit of a wait, but he said, "Hey, look, giveaway on stream after the interview." So guess what? If you want one of those, right, you just have to type in the chat. You want that? Yeah, TMT. Oh yeah. Trust me. You're not the only one who wants this. Okay. I may have already requested and paid him some money for some of my own set, but I'm not going to get the giveaway. Here's an extra one. You got giveaway on your stream. So this is for you. All you have to do is type in the chat. It is very, very sexy. Shane, look, you make really nice cards, but these are metal and these are A-wings. I mean, what am I going to say? Who wants one? Who wants one? Move some arms, sockets. Oh yeah, they're beautiful. Absolutely so pretty. I have seen his work before with the Rick card. A good friend of mine actually won one at the Grand Championships in Bathurst, and they're hot. They are really, really hot. Heavy metal, 100%. Oh look, all people are in there. Who wants it? Who wants it? Me. Yes. Paint strip. Hey, guess what, Paint strip? I have actually reset the draw, so you have a chance of winning it. I've reset, so all the ones, because the guys that got it before had a chance to get the other cards I gave away. So, but they are included in this to get the chance. Paint strip, yeah, you get a chance. Strip that paint, buddy. Oh, they're really good. So now, just for warning, it will take a little while to get here. I'm not expecting it to arrive till like next month, but we will definitely get one. In A-wing. Yes, yeah, so good. It looks so good. All right, here we go. We're rolling for it. There we go. Who gets it? Paint strip. I swear to you guys, I did not rig this. There's like 12 people here marked on. Oh my God, KP. Totally. Yeah. No, just yeah. I'm sorry. No. Everybody had a chance of winning, but if you're staying tuned over the XTC, we're going to give away some more. Okay? We're going to give away some more. So, yeah, congratulations to Paint Strip. All right, guys, we have Khan in the house. We have, I believe, fixed up Taco's mic issues. So, all the rigged. Hey, I'm sorry, Ben. Yeah, yeah, all I can say, there's going to be more chances, I promise you, because they are so good. It's like A-wings, man, I have to get A-wings. This is me, I have to give them away. So we're going to have some more. Don't worry. All right. Bear with us, guys. Oh, what do you do? Very good question. Just fill in this form for me. Give me, I think it is. It's been a little while since we've done any. Fill in that form. KP, or message me directly on Discord. You're in the Discord already, so that's fine. And we're going to go switch over. One sec, guys. There we go. Alrighty. Khan is in the house. How are you,
In the
Khan?
house. In the house. Hey.
And well, I say, so you guys don't get completely bored with me. Taco, I think we said we resolved issues for Taco, and we didn't want there to be any biasm. You know, you didn't want me to say how great Australia is because let's face it, it is. Australia's great, right? I've got Taco here to interview Khan, and I will do it twice. So there's going to be no little collusion or anything like that. Okay.
Right,
You're
right.
good to go.
Yeah. All good.
All right.
All right. So this is Jaren, aka Taco here. So, actor. I mean, I think you are fairly familiar among most of our listeners here. But tell me about a little bit of yourself. Just a brief. How have you been playing X-Wing and why are you team captain? And tell me a bit about
My
your
sins.
yourself.
What has propelled me to this adulation as team captain for Australia? Yeah,
Indeed.
no, yeah, no. I've been playing X-wing for a number of years. I started X-wing, believe it or not, in Singapore. So you Singaporeans are the reason that I play X-wing.
You're
So
welcome, Australia.
yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah, yeah. So just a brief history. I've played tabletop wargaming for a very long time. I'm an old hat. I'm an old man. I've been playing tabletop games for a long time, and as a history, I've been at the ETC event. That people who know that well, for many years. I think from the third year it was incepted, I've been there every year since, if my memory serves. So I've been there for a very long time, and those tabletop games is where I've got my experience of how to play tabletop games and team environment games. I really enjoy that. So I got into X-Wing when the Ninth Age game spawned from the old Warhammer Fantasy 8th edition, which got sunset by Games Workshop. And in between the new Ninth Age system that was coming out, we were looking for a new system to play. And this, Justin and Darway and Sen Yong and all those guys that were playing in, Lamb and all those guys that were playing in Singapore were getting into X-Wing, and Shane knocked me on the shoulder and a few of the other guys, and they said, "Why don't you play X-Wing?" And I loved Star Wars, gave it a go, and been playing it ever since. Really enjoy it. So.
Nice.
Yeah, and I did fairly well. I understand how the game works. I've capped in Australia for other gaming systems. So when it came to this event, basically what happened was I was tapped on the shoulder by Bartosz and the guys and said, "Can you organise a team for Australia?" And I think the other thing just to say as well is, just before COVID, everybody knows the Fosses. They were going to bring a team. When the COVID year hit, unfortunately, and we were going to come down in physical form to there, so they were going to run a team there. So that was
Traveling all the way to Europe, yeah.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because I felt that team would have been something special, but it is what it is. That would have been, the Fosses and Morgan and myself and a few others potentially.
Right.
Who knows? But that's how I ended up being captain. Basically, I was tapped on the shoulder by the committee, and they said, "Can you organise a team for Australia?" And I did.
Right. So I want to ask, you've been placing very well for quite a while in X-Wing. Is it whether online or in person before the COVID years? So I've listened to Ryan Farmer on Fly Better. What's going on? Why is there beef between the two of you?
You know what it is, right? Ryan is a scrub. That's what it is, right?
Oh, he's a scrub. Well,
He's a
you
scrub.
hear it here first.
He doesn't know how to play X-Wing, right? He pretends to play X-Wing, right?
Oh, he pretends to play.
You know what he does? He jumps on the coattails of all these really good X-Wing players, and that is Ryan.
Oh, all right, guys, you hear it first.
Next time I see Ryan, I'm going to sit on him. You know that, right? Because when it came to Group D, the first thing he said in his podcast was, "It's actor. I can't vote for Australia because it's actors in there." He's a bad boy, isn't he?
He said that on Fly Better, the most recent one, and that was impressive.
He's a bad boy. That one. No, he's all right. He's all good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right.
I will. You know what I need to do is I need to do well. And Ryan, if I do well, I own you. Right.
Yep.
So we'll
Prove
see.
him wrong.
We'll see.
Yes. I mean, you're in Group D. USA is in it. Australia's in it. So is there going to be an early reckoning?
Tough group. We play
Yeah, it
USA
is.
last, so it's like maybe this is it's like it's Fight Club. I think in every group it's like Fight Club, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all pretty good teams on every group, and the fact that there are seven or eight
Yeah.
teams on each group, and only the top two get in. That means that there aren't much leeway for
You gotta be
for
on your
people who don't.
game. You
Yeah,
gotta be on your
exactly.
game.
So on your game, speaking of which, we talked earlier a little bit about your experience in team strategies and this kind of pairing matchup there.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, of course, not asking you to give away any like real tactics, but any crazy, crazy strategies out there that you feel like people are not going to expect from Australia. Things
Well, you
like
got you got to remember the only strategy that matters is that I make sure that I get the best matchup, so I look the best in the team. That's my main strategy for Team Australia. I'm sorry, the rest of the boys. I'm sorry, but that's the main strategy.
oh
So
my.
so it's like I will bust anyone to get a better matchup. No, no. So it's
So
I
every
will,
every time you'll have a green matchup for every single game, and then like
no,
rest
yeah.
like why are we getting weird matchups and what's
Well,
going on here?
then you
Well,
just turn around as the captain. You can then turn around to your team and say, "Hey, I led by example. You guys let me down." Right? So it's like no. So it's no. It's fine. I mean, the reality with strategy is I've been doing teams events for a long time. I have
hmm
countless spreadsheets. I have countless spreadsheets. I have countless um, versions. I've done different systems. I've got, I've gone to the length of, you can even look at decision trees, all kinds of weird and wonderful things. But
mm,
because I've been doing ETC for a very long time and I've been playing this particular style of matchup a formula, it's something we're very used to. We have a very complex sheet, which we have a lot of analysis around the teams that we're playing.
right,
This is
right,
actually significantly easier because we know our groups, so we only
hmm
have to put in 7 teams,
right,
the 6 opponent teams in our 7 group.
hmm
Whereas in the other systems that I play, you're playing and you have to basically account for all the teams, and you're talking 300-400 teams potentially in some
Ooh,
cases.
is that is so wow, that I cannot imagine like the decision trees you have to make prepare for the one in like what 0.2% chance you face that particular team there.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive there.
Yeah. So it's something that we're very versed to. I've been doing it for some time.
hmm
Ben Doyle is extremely good at pairing process as well. So, and we've got a number of people in our team that can help us. So
Right.
it's really good for us in the sense of we've got some good experience and we've got some good, I would say, good experience in that area. So that the game would before the game, as they were, the pairing process where you will win or lose your round from that particular action, in my opinion. That
Right.
will
That
make or break teams in this
mhm.
event.
Yes. Speaking of, Ben Doyle, which is, the first order player,
The real Bendor,
for
the real Bendor.
apparently there are multiple Ben Doyles running around,
Yeah,
as clarified, on Fly Better, and among others. So just gonna run through briefly your team here. We have Tom
sure.
Harper playing for Rebels,
Yep,
Ben Lorking playing for
yep,
Empire, Gum playing for Scum and Villainy.
yes,
I mean, actor playing for Scum and Villainy.
of course.
Ben Doyle, First Order. Nobby. Nobby. I wonder who that is for
Nobby's the
Resistance.
water boy. That's who Nobby is. He's only in the team because he can fly A-wings. Otherwise, he would be just bringing water and polishing our shoes. That's what would be happening.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is playing A-Wings.
Yep.
Poe Dameron and 3 A-Wings. That's a great list. Michael O'Connor playing for Republic. Michael Turners and for Separatists, and
Yeah.
2 substitutes. Craig Walker and Brendan Morrissey.
Yeah.
Wow. Any shout outs to them? Like, are they comfort factions for all these players?
Yeah, I think what's important to understand is when we came to picking our teams, you know, we had to pick players that were able to commit to a number of games, which is one of the big things, because there was a hell of a lot of testing that we intended to do with this group, specifically because there was new ships that had just been released, and we needed to test a number of archetypes, and we wanted to obviously get the team synergy. So getting the team synergy right is really important. So it's not a surprise that every single one of these players has played and has a team experience. So the reason that all these players are in is they are comfort and specialist in the factions they are currently playing. They also have all played in teams events and understand teams events. And we wanted to make sure that we had players that could work with each other and just understand that in a team environment, sometimes you have to take one for the team, and maybe have a couple of tire tracks over your chest if it needs to happen. But I think the other thing that is really good is, in their own right, they're good X-Wing players. So really what you want to do is you want to put yourself in the best advantage, because you could be outplayed in the matchup process if you're not careful, and then you're going to have to basically suck it up and try and take on pseudo suboptimal matchups and get wins. And everybody in the team can win. There's everybody in the team that we have can beat somebody else if they focus on it. So that's why they're there. I mean, there's so many. We had such a good turnout of people that wanted to play, so it's good. So it's ability, it's team, obviously teamwork, and team building, and it's also something you have to just work together. And it's also people that are able to commit to a lot of games, because we've put in a lot of games.
Right. How much playing do you expect them to commit to? You mentioned that you have like test games, practice games.
Oh, we
That
had a minimum quota on the thing. We've done well over 200 games already in
oh
preparation
wow,
for the ETC.
that is
And
that,
they were
that is
specifically
something.
targeted training. So it was specifically targeted for certain archetypes, for what list types we wanted to build. It's very important with your list building that you do that for the pairing process. So that's the reason we've done that.
So it's kind of like understand every player's like their list matchups against the possible matchups that you're gonna see.
Players don't get a choice in the list. It's what everybody gets to works together, and we work out what we think is the best synergy. Can they play it? Will they play it? We put them all together. Everybody puts in, and we build a squad that we think can take on other squads. Obviously, they need to be very strong lists, and you look at all the lists that are coming out. The majority of lists, you look at the usual suspects and how strong their lists are. The people that have played it XTC and
Right.
are, the Polands, the Germanys, the Englands. There's a few of them. The Netherlands. They've got incredibly strong lists, but it's important to understand it's not just the list that they've got, it's how they balance their list and what type of list they've bought, so that can help them in that pairing process. And I think what you'll see is that's the great thing about the teams events. I love teams events. I've been doing them forever, and the game before the game is where it's at.
Oh yeah, the pairing in this case.
You win or lose the round with that one process, in my opinion.
I see. Well, you are in Group D. Australia's in Group D along
Yeah,
with USA, Sweden, Spain, Malta, Chile, and Hungary.
yeah.
Uh, any comments on any of these countries, or even all of these countries? I
Oh, I
mean,
don't
of
like it.
course.
I don't like it.
Oh
Is what
no.
I'd say. No, look, the way I kind of look at things from an agnostic point of view, when you analyze and play some team, it doesn't matter who they are. They can be a Germany. They could be, they could be from Timbuktu. It doesn't matter where they're from, right? What you have
Right,
to do
right.
is you have to analyze them efficiently, work out what you think is the most important way of um, advancing your matrix, your pairing matrix against theirs, and trying your best to get as optimal matchup as you can. And then basically you have to play out and hope that your players will get you out of that, right? So
Right.
really, really what it is the reason that you see these really good teams do well is they have very strong players, and they pair well because they understand the system, and they have built and prepared their lists in advance for that process. So
Okay.
what happens is there's a number of elements you have to put together. You have to have that strategy in place, and you can get out of jail if you've got the good players in suboptimal matchups. But if you play teams with good matchups, they pair well, and
Mhm.
you roughly get as close a pairing process as you can, and so it's almost the same ranking. You sit there and you think, okay, anyone can win this round.
Right, right.
That's where you'll see, and that's what you'll see in the finals, in my opinion. Whoever gets the top 10, but you're going to see several of those games in these rounds because there's some really big names, some really good players. Look at our group, USA, very strong team. Sweden, very strong team. Spain, incredible team, right?
Right.
You cannot write off the Maltas, the Chiles, the Hungarians. You just can't, because you should never do that. They could be, they could be an upset city, right? You have to treat them all the same. Everybody in this group, as far as I'm concerned, is a Poland or a Germany or an England. Doesn't matter who they
Right,
are.
right.
They're all good in our
Wow,
eyes.
you hear folks, Octa being humble and treating all his opponents with giving them
Hey,
very
hey,
much
don't get me wrong. We're coming in force. We're not we're
Yep.
not we're not turning up with a banana or a knife fight. Because we're here to make it happen. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we go with all these teams.
Right, that would be interesting here. I mean, any particular matchups that are you looking forward to? Whether is it a personal thing or you think it's going to be because they are their play style is very different from what the Australians are bringing to the table.
To be honest, the good thing about this type of event is you don't really understand. We're not, we don't live in the European meta. So
Hmm.
it's difficult for us in Oceania to go to an ETC. So one of the benefits of this online environment that we currently live in is this type of event has got this many countries with this many groups. It would never be able to do that in real life, because you
Right,
just physically wouldn't get that many teams. Over time, you'll see it grow to something like that, and hopefully it will. And it grows every year. XTC, they were ETC, they're now XTC because they can build their own franchise, and they're doing a great
right.
job of that. So that's awesome. But from our point of view, is this allows so many countries. We've nearly got 40 countries. Very close to that.
That's way much more than before.
Yeah, and
That's fantastic.
it's super good. And the thing about that is you get to play these countries, and they can have all different types of strategies. You don't know what they're going to bring, how they play.
Hmm.
I personally, from my personal point of view, my best achievements is being paired into a poor matrix. I take on a bad matchup to give some people good matchups. And where
Hmm.
I find my best wins is where I've been put into a matchup where I'm expected to lose and I don't. So they're my best achievements.
Right, right,
My best ETC experience outside of X-Wing was going into a pairing where it's a 20-point system, and I was expected to get 0 points and I got 10, which was a draw, which was my best achievement probably ever. Um, and the same in X-Wing. Maybe I have to put myself into a pairing that will give us a couple of greens, so it's better for the team,
hmm
and I can back my own ability, and maybe you can turn a game and still win it, even though it's a bad pairing for you. So those are the ones that excite me the most. I'm not afraid of any bad matchups. You can always win, and you can always lose, so you have to respect your opponent.
That is true. I think the pressure would be on players if, let's say, the team captain goes up to them and say, "All right, I got you a green matchup. All right, so we need you because a couple of us folks here, have to pull on red matchup. So you get a green one. You got to win it." And like, yeah, no pressure, no pressure. It's just everyone looking
It's
at you and
It's a very good point. It's tough, mate. It's tough. Team events are, you need to have people that have got experience, and that's the other thing that was really useful for the people that are in this team, in the Australian team. All the players that have played teams events, have been in those pressure situations,
right,
have had that situation where you're sitting there, don't, you know, you if you're bringing people that are green to this type of event, awesome. If you've never done this, or you've got players that have never done teams events, they will have the best time in this event and they will learn loads, right? People that have been in the teams events and have done the teams events and enjoy the teams events, which is what our team's about, they're super fun. They understand the stress. They understand, look, I've been given a green. I really need to try and make that happen. But you understand that it's X-Wing. Anything can happen. Doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how good your matchup is. How many times have you lost games where you shouldn't have? It happens.
Oh, too many times. And also, I mean, the reverse, right? Like winning games where you're like, on paper, you're like, you're supposed to get tabled. What happened here? Did
I've
they like?
clutched defeat. I've clutched defeat from the jaws of victory many times. But I've done I've done the opposite, where I don't deserve to win a game, and I perform daylight robbery and somehow get a win, which equally is a bit harsh on your opponent, but it happens, right? So no, it's interesting. I love teams events. Teams events are super fun. Really enjoy them. I super enjoy the pairing process. I super enjoy the game before the game, and whilst the preparation is immense and the amount of work you have to put in, if you really want to get somewhere in a teams event is enormous, and you got to respect certain teams when you see how much work they put in. You never know what will happen. Preparation will give you a good leg up in this type of format, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of preparations, I've been told that you have some hot sauce recommendations for
Hot
us.
sauce. There's a lot of hot sauce, mate. At the moment, I've been eating Sriracha. Is it Sriracha? I don't know what it is. All I know is it's in my cupboard, and I'm a pretty tolerant guy when it comes to hot sauce. That's pretty stunning. Chili blachan's pretty good as well. That'll blow your socks off. It's like lava if you're not used to it.
Well, I'm sure that's gonna be something they're gonna some heat they're gonna bring to.
I've been told we need to bring the hot sauce to the USA, mate.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Gotta.
Marcel, Team Australia has hot sauce ready for you, mate. Hot sauce, and we also have Vegemite. So Vegemite's coming too, right?
Oh, dude, that might be scarier. I mean, I've tasted Vegemite, and that's an experience. That's an experience, I would say.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste, but we all eat it. Everybody here eats it.
Oh man, you must be joking. Like no one eats this like willingly.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Any crazy team advice you want to give, like to the other teams, like I mean, of course, other than the standard preparation and stuff,
I think what you can do, there is no shame if you are intimidated that you turn your ships backwards and fly off the table. There is no shame in that. No shame in that whatsoever. I won't say anything negative towards you. I'll tell you what, if you do that, I'll even buy you a cake.
That's very generous of you, Octa. I mean, that's fantastic. Is that what you're offering to
That's
all
my
the
team
other?
strategy. My team strategy is to put a brown paper packet under the table and say, "Can you fly ships onto the table?" No, it's no. It'll be no. I think it'll be super fun. As I say, I think you can't be ahead of yourself. This group that we're in is going to be intense. Can we get out of this group and get to the finals? I don't know. I think we've got the minerals to do it with our team, but I know it's going to be a heavy ask. I know it's going to be a strong showing we're going to have to make. We're going to have to earn it. So what I would say is, on a serious note, anyone playing us, bring your A game because we're bringing ours, right? And when it comes to this event, I would personally, and I know this, I speak for the rest of the team, we would love to make the finals. And the reason for that is you would pay the top 10 teams in the country, in the world. There's some usual suspects that you expect to be there. And I would personally love to play those players. I would love to play, some of those names in those countries and have that weekend and play across them. They're great teams, and the experience would be fantastic. Win, lose or draw, that wouldn't bother me at all. Getting to the finals and playing in the finals would be phenomenal, in my opinion.
Right. That is very true. I mean, and also of course, having some representation from this half the world here, over there. I mean, I think the Americans and the Europeans, they can talk themselves up a fair bit. But
It's they're
I
good.
I see. Yeah,
They're
they're good.
good,
They're
but
good.
you can't write off certain teams. Look. I look at some of the teams that are there, right? If you look at our side, Oceania, right? Um, there's some strong teams, right?
Mhm.
I would consider us a strong team. Singapore clearly a strong team. New Zealand. Nobody knows about New Zealand. They're not rubbish. They're a good team, right?
The strength is no one knows about them. That's the best part.
But they are good, right?
Hmm.
So
I've played
underestimate
them.
New
They are very
Zealand
good.
underestimate New Zealand at your peril, right?
Hmm.
So I would say, and no disrespect to the other teams in this group, but I would say in the Oceanic events and from what I've seen experience wise, they're probably the strongest teams, right? In
Mm.
Oceania. I would love to see at least one of those, an Oceanic team make the top 10.
Right.
It's going to be tough because the lucky thing is we're all in different groups. So it gives us a chance to try and do that, but it's super tough. But you've got to look at people like there's wild cards and there's people that I look at South Africa, for example. I think
Hmm.
people are going to be surprised how good South Africa are going to go. They've been under
Right.
the radar. Nobody really talks about them. I think they're a solid country, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if South Africa give people a run for their money. There's a
Hmm.
whole load of teams here that anyone can win, and as I say, if you've got your preparation right and you understand how you're going and you can be quite consistent with how you operate your pairing process and then execute your game strategy and have a
Right.
good solid set of team members that can execute that,
Hmm.
who knows, you can
Yeah.
beat anyone. So it's like I'm relishing the US game, for example. I'm relishing playing Spain in next week. We're playing Chile first. The coming
That's
week
right.
we're going to play Chile.
Hmm.
I'm super excited to play them because I've never played the Chileans before, um, and I'm sure it'll be fantastic. And I'll get to meet somebody I've never played before, and and it should be a great time. And I'm looking forward to having a great game. So yeah, the great thing about this is I don't know if anybody in Hungary I've played before. I don't know if I've played anyone in Malta before. The Spanish team have so many good players. It's very likely I'll play somebody in Spain I haven't played before. The Swedish are great as well. So yeah, you just get to play people that you are outside of your circle. Awesome.
That's good. Yeah, that is very true. I'm really excited. I mean, this is my first time, in the XTC, and I'm looking forward to the experience. Of course, I hope to see Team Singapore and Team Australia in the finals. For sure. Any
myself and
any
said Myself and Sen Yong said that at the beginning of the System Open, right, in 2018, and he
Yes,
said we'll see
we.
each other in the finals, and it happened. Only problem
Oh,
is he beat me.
oh. Well, well, we'll see. We'll see about that. Any shout outs to team helpers, any people that like, may not be playing but have been helping out in your preparations before we
I
wrap
just,
up and
I
pass on
just,
to
I
Nobby.
just think in general to the Australian community, thanks very much because they've been all very helpful.
Hmm.
I think it's important that some of the key players that are missing from the team this year that were there have shaped a lot of what our players are like. There's a lot of X-Wing famous people that have played, um, and they've helped us in teams events. We've done very well in the OCT events, which preps us for the XTC. So in the Oceanic team events, we had a very strong squad. The Fosses were running the teams back then, and
Hmm.
that is something that shaped our experience level within the region, and we've been able to build on that. I think it's really good that in its own right, you look at some of these players. Ben Doyle, for example, quality player. So are several other players here. Our what I would say as well is our reserves, Ben Morrissey and Craig Walker. They can step into any of the lists if we need them to, right?
Hmm.
So, and they've been super helpful in all the process, and we've had lots of people in Australia being really, really helpful with practice games, with giving us runs with our lists. So yeah, no, in general, the Aussie community has been really good, and we love that.
Awesome. All right, that's going to wrap that one up. Thank you, Khan. I'm glad I did make it out of the Waterboy qualifications.
Only because you fly A-wings, mate. Only because you fly A-wings.
I only put three. Okay, I tried to control myself. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to switch over because we've got another giveaway, and then we're going to do. I'm going to get to have a chat with XY. So you know, I think the two great teams of Oceanic and Southeast Australia. Sorry, the other guys, but yeah, I think I'm cheering for Singapore to also make the. I want to play. I want to have a Khan versus XY rematch at some point.
Ooh, that's
Best way to
spicy.
do it through is XTC. What I'm thinking.
Yes, yes.
I need a witch doctor before that game.
All right, Khan. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
Taco, you too. All right, I'm just going to mute you guys while we get ready. All right, let's switch that over. Alrighty, guys. So, another giveaway. We've got another set of the wonderful cinematic Yoda. And I need to turn that background off. Sorry, guys. Let's turn the background off. There we go. So, we've got another Yoda. Hey, Jake. And Ray. All you need to do, type in the chat. I will send them off to you. Set of 3, giveaway to celebrate and kick off the XTC. I don't have another one of those A-Wing cards when we start doing the XTC matches, but for the moment, these 3 little beauties are up for grabs. Ben is being mean to me. Would I ever be mean to you? Ben, yes you would. Yes, but then I also know Madam Duke, and she also deserves it, so... Marbles? No, not marbles. We're going to go... I've got to have a chat with XY. How do I win again? Just you qualified like that. All you have to do is type in the chat. That's all you have to do. Do I win again? No, you do not win again. I've got you. You're on the ban list. Pain Trip, sorry, you are on the ban list because you've already won a set. Wookie Barber, I'm also removing you from the list because you are already getting a set. What else? Madam Cheek, because you're naughty and you don't deserve it. And the same thing for Ben, because he's been mean to Madam Cheek. You both don't qualify. All right. XY, yes, you are in the list. You're in the... And I probably won't send them to you. Shane will probably give them to you. All right, here we go. Who gets it? Club Fed! My man Fong! Beautiful. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, for those who don't know, Club Fed was the guy who actually introduced me to X-Wing. So all my cabinet that's full of toys, plastic spaceships that I have invested in, it's all because of him. Nice one. Totally not rigged. I promise you it was not rigged. There was like 15 people up for grabs. Congratulations. So, Fong, I'd normally say type in exclamation point, give me, but I know you and I'll probably just send them to you directly. Yeah, it's all your fault. All your fault. All right, guys. We will be back in just a couple of minutes as I get XY ready for the interview. Hope you guys are all enjoying this. It is plastic crack, absolutely. All right.
These new players, and you think, what's that? Who is it? It's there.
Hey, Hunter.
Hey,
Hello, guys.
Alrighty, guys, we are back, and I am joined by XY. How are you?
Hi everyone, feeling okay?
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here.
Oh, hey, look, thanks for making freeing up your day. I also speak quickly to all the captains who organised to come in today. I do appreciate it. And we have a really special guest. I'm really looking forward to this chat. You're the captain of Team Singapore, right? Well, tell us a little about yourself for those who don't know. I mean, you scrub, you play this game, you know how to play. Tell us a bit.
Oh well, I think I first got into X-Wing in end of 2015. That was when the K-Wing was released. So I think my brother got me some expansions of the X-Wing after I learned the game. And at that point of time, I was just learning to play a lot of casual board games like Seven Wonders and Ascensions. I'm pretty sure we have all played the games before. And when X-Wing was introduced to me, I was just blown away by the beauty of the game. And it was also Star Wars themed. So I immediately fell in love with the game. And it's so unique because there's this spatial aspect of the game with also the card interactions and everything. So it was really, really beautiful. And immediately fell in love with the game and got addicted since. And the plastic ships just grew. And I think along the way went for tournaments and all. And I think my first major tournament was in 2017 when I actually traveled all the way to Brisbane for the national. So that was a really fantastic trip, and I got to know a lot of the Australians. That's why Singapore and Australia is always in very good relationship when it comes to X-Wing.
Except for when you come over to our System Open and beat Khan and take away our trophy. Except for that, other than that, yes, we're in good relations.
Oh, the trophy is here.
Yeah. Khan,
look at this.
We had you on before. XY, there's a reason for that. Yeah. You missing something, Khan? Did you miss it? Sorry. He called me the water boy. All right. So that tells me you know how to play X-Wing. That is really good. Please also remind Khan that we also had another band that we missed, that Khan needs to learn how to read about Crackshot, but Madam Duke did bring it up beforehand. All right, tell us who's in the team. Yeah. To this day, he remembers.
He's haunted by that always.
There's no fire alarm in XTC also, Khan, just remember that. Give us a rundown of the Team Singapore. Who we got in the team?
Okay, so we've got me as the captain. Other than that, I'm just going to go faction by faction. So for Rebel, we have Jared, also called G1. Okay, I think he's been playing this game for quite a long time since I think he was one of the people who also started X-Wing. I think also in about 2015, if I'm not wrong, together with Wei, Justin, and Lam, and a few other guys. So G1 is playing Rebel. Okay, he's a really solid Rebel player. For Empire, we have Ranzes. Okay, his name is Sheng Ren, but he's called Ranzes. He is a really crafty player, so we're putting him on Empire to give us some really support the team. Okay, so on Scum we have of course the Scum player, Wei. Okay, on the team. Okay, I'm sure Khan will love this. Okay, so Wei is a Scum player. I mean, he's also a Scum, so that's perfect for him. And on Resistance, we have KP. Recently, he came in top 4 in Moncala. So I have full confidence that KP will be a valuable asset to the team. And on FO, we have Jarrett Taco. Okay, he's a scrap. He's only on the team because he managed to he wanted to organize the team Antarctica, but he didn't manage to recruit all the players. So we are like, okay, sure. Come join our team.
So he organised 6 players just so there was, oh, look, you guys need a 7th player. Okay, I'll play. I know.
In all seriousness, he's a brilliant player. Okay, and I'm pretty sure he will do very well in this tournament. And next we have Republic, of course. I'm playing Republic, and we have Timothy. Okay, Timothy on CIS. I gotta say that Timothy is our hardest working player. Okay, I'm always amazed by his enthusiasm and his all the amount of work that he's putting in it for the team.
Awesome. No, And I've got to say, very, very handsome photos. I've got to say also, shout out for Ruben too. Look how smart he is with that.
Yes,
Ruben's
of
also
course.
one of the commentators that comes on here.
Yes, of
Um,
course. Okay. We're gonna talk about the reserves, right? So we have Ruben. Okay, he's in one of the groups in Singapore called Master Space Pilot (MSP). So I think he's been in this game longer than any of us, if I'm not wrong. So he's a reserve. That means that he's very, very flexible. He can play any of the factions. And of course, we have Lam. Of course, one of our older players as well, and he's very experienced, and he's gonna be helping me with pairings and all. So I'm really, really appreciative of the team.
yeah. What's this Khan saying? Ruben does your taxes while you play him. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, all right. Anyway, going on. How are you feeling about Group A? So let's have a look. We'll bring that up over here. Group A, you got Poland, you got Brazil, you've got Italy, you've got you guys, Singapore, goes Team Singapore. You got Norway, we got Greece, we got Malaysia, also go Malaysia, and we got the Czech Republic. Which one? What are you feeling? What's your feels on this?
Okay, so when the group was drawn, I immediately received a message from the captain of Team Italy, Marco, because we were actually friends from Worlds 2019, and we knew each other very well because of we all scrubbed up. We all scrubbed up. We didn't make the cut for 2019, so we were at the same spot for a side event. So we were like, there were a few of us as well, and I think really few others really strong players. Again, I'm just gonna name drop a bit. Ben Lee was in the pod. Marco was in the pod. Michael O'Connor, Australian national champ. We have Sean McCary. We have Julian Hood. We have Kevin Bellani, right? So Vernon as well, Vernon Lorenzo. So all of us were in the pot, and we were just wondering how come we didn't make the cut. We were just a bit salty, so we were just saying that, hey, come on, we gotta be the best side event pot ever, right? To be in the same pot. Anyway, just something fun. So he texted me and he was like, "Wow, strongest pot ever." I was like, "Okay, sure, indeed." So that was my first reaction when the group was drawn. I saw Poland, I saw Italy. I was like, "Oh damn, this is a strong group." And of course, there are a few other countries that cannot be underestimated as well. Brazil, we have Norway, Greece, Czech, and the surprise is Singapore and Malaysia put in the same group. So it's gonna be a grudge match or something.
Oh, hey, look. Okay. Firstly, you mentioned that you're in this strong pod, but who do you think? Oh, let me rephrase that. What is the most favourite matchup that you're looking forward to in that pod? And then leading on to that is, who do you think the top two teams are going to be for that pod?
Okay. I think I'm most looking forward to our match with Poland, right? Because
Poland, yep.
if you want to make the cut, you got to start with the strongest, right? So Poland has been the winner for how many XTC or ETC or something like that?
I don't know. I'm a scrub.
I think lots.
I don't know. I hear
Yeah.
that they're good. You know, I don't know. The jury's still out. I suspect they might be good. But you know, Singapore, it should be good. The Singapore versus Poland match, I think, would be really good.
Yep.
You can
So we're looking to snatch one win over there, if possible.
Yeah. You can teach them the off-angle deployment. You know that Singapore is famous for.
That's a secret. Well, I actually played against Bartosz once, so pretty sure he knows about it already.
Yeah.
So.
Now, do you think? What do you think of the two teams going to make it through?
Two teams. Of course, I'm going to put Singapore as one of them,
Of course,
and the other one,
number one.
the other one, I'm going to put our fellow friend Malaysia.
Malaysia. Okay.
Singapore and Malaysia. I mean, I was listening to Louis just now. Right, so Louis said Singapore and Malaysia. Go Singapore and Malaysia.
All right. So you think Poland's going to scrub out? This is the XY call.
I mean, it's possible. It's X-wing. Anything is possible, you know.
Going to be an upset. It's going to be a big upset, and I'm rooting for it. You know, or we want Singapore to make it through. All right. Is there any matchup that you're not looking forward to?
Not looking forward to. I think maybe not because it's X-wing, right? We're always looking forward to play X-wing. So there is no such thing as there's no time we are not looking forward to play games. So and it's really exciting to be able to play some of the guys. I don't think I've played players from some of these countries before. Yeah. So Czech Republic, Greece, Norway, Brazil. I don't think I've played players from there before. I mean, if I recall correctly, yeah.
No, international X-Wing is always great. I mean, I'm
Yes.
really hot. I hope for this
Awesome.
international X-Wing. It's phenomenal. Really, it is. Okay. So leading up to now, you mentioned some secrets. You're going to spare any of your secrets, any of your strategies you have for this tournament?
The strategy, right? I think we have one main strategy is to always throw Gerent under the bus, and
He
Gerent is our
probably deserves
sacrificial
it.
case. Okay, so Gerent.
Yeah, so the hot take is Jared will go 7-0 for the event, and everybody else will have all the wins. That's what he's on the team for.
Yep. 0-7. He'll go 0-7 for the.
Yeah. Hey, that's fair.
Okay.
Is that something you're willing to bet hot sauce on?
What hot sauce?
Yeah, I mean, would you bet hot sauce that Taco's going to go 0-7 for the event?
I think he's gonna go maybe 7-0 on all the bad matchups that we are gonna throw him.
All right. Next question, as I asked all the team captains, is because of all the spiciness that's going around and the hot sauce, I wanted to ask your hot sauce recommendation. Now, just for clarification, you don't believe hot sauce is a punishment.
Is hot sauce a punishment? I mean, you can check with maybe Raymond later on, right? Raymond is coming up after me. I'm pretty sure he loves hot sauce. Right? We eat hot sauce every single day. Whenever we eat fried food and all, we're like, where's the sauce? Where's the sauce? Hot sauce.
So the recommendation I've got a picture of it up there on the screen for. And now also here's a fun fact. I found this hot sauce in Australia. And so I may take XY's recommendation here and send a bottle of this over to Marcel.
Please do.
Yeah. The red one, is that right? That's the mild one.
I think you can send him the mildest one. Okay,
yeah. He's a wimp, right? So we'll go easy on him. Okay. We can do that. I think we can do that. Is there any other spicy predictions that you have, like in the groups? How do you think the rest of the pods are going to go?
The rest of the pods. Okay, let's bring up the pods.
I'm also doing the same. There we go. Bring it up. So we talked about Group A. How are you thinking about Group B?
Just a second.
You're right.
Okay, Group B. Okay, I see some superpowers over there. Germany. Okay, Germany has really great players. Benedict. I think Timorab, right? German players. They are really good players. So I expect to see Germany making the cut. Other than that, I am gonna root for New Zealand. Definitely, right?
Yeah.
Our friends. Yeah, New Zealand. We have lots of brilliant players over there. So. Yeah, I'm going to go for Germany and New Zealand.
Oh, I like this. Though I just want to shout out Iceland's in there too. Make sure that Iceland's in there too. And the Thule Squadron boys, they would also get my side vote. I'm really tossed up. I'm really conflicted about New Zealand and Iceland there. Yeah, we'll see how both of them. I'm going to keep an eye on both those guys because they're really good. Okay, what about Pod C?
I mean, England would definitely be the obvious choice, but I would really love to see. I would really love to see Ollie have hot sauce on camera. So.
Oh yeah, well that's it. If he's having hot sauce, then he clearly didn't go 7-0. We can't let that happen.
Yeah. So I think Canada is a strong choice as well.
Yep.
And of course, I gotta support our Southeast Asian team, Philippines.
Philippines. Oh.
Yep.
Do you think Philippines might do it?
You never know a black horse.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. England, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on them. Hot sauce for Ollie. Group D, there's only one right answer here. What's your prediction for Group D?
D is a spicy one. We have Team USA. We have Australia. We have Sweden, and we also have. I think I've played a player from Malta before, so they're really it's really intense competition over here. But maybe I'll just lay down some smack talk for Marcel. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that maybe let's go for Australia and Sweden.
I did not bribe him or anything like that. You heard it, folks. XY says it's going to be Sweden and Australia. What's USA? Who's worried about USA? Who's worried? All right, and the final group, Group E. What's your top two?
Netherlands, and I'm gonna support our definitely our friends here, Japan.
Yes.
So
Japan.
Netherlands, Japan, maybe.
Yeah. I'm actually have a high hope for Japan. Really looking forward to those matches. And of course, we're going to be trying to do streaming Team Singapore. I mean, we've been doing a lot of the streams for them, and we want to continue that as a go beat up opponents around the world. Okay, any closing smack talk before we close off there?
I think maybe I just want to thank a few people for helping, even though they are not on the team. So
Absolutely.
one of them is Alex Yo. I'm pretty sure you know Alex Rowe better Yo.
Yeah, yes.
He's been such great help training our team members, even though he's not on the team. I think I actually asked him to be on the team, but he couldn't commit because of life. So, but besides that, he actually is really great help. He clocked in a lot of games with our team members. So Alex is one of them. The other one is Mr. Lee, Ben Lee's father. Okay, he's actually playing with us as well. So Mr. Lee is one of them. And we have Ron and Leon, which also helped out with the team training. So thank you guys.
There is a question in the chat there. I just want to ask her, why did Justin not make the team?
Well, definitely, that's a good question. Justin did not make the team because he's not good enough to make the team of Team Singapore.
Okay. You heard it, folks. Who is this Justin?
Here.
Who is this
Who is this Justin? Who is Justin? I heard he won some big tournament in 2017 or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the burns. I love it. All right, XY. I appreciate you taking the time out. I do have your hot sauce recommendation, and I know where to get it. I checked out earlier. So Marcel, you might receive a little care package from Australia. On behalf of Southeast Asia, everyone here. We got one more in about 5-10 minutes. So guys, I really hope you enjoy that. I'm going to do another giveaway shortly. So XY, thank you. I really appreciate it.
See you guys. Thank you.
We look forward to seeing Australia and Singapore in the finals.
Yes, the Khan. See you in the finals.
And then you can beat Khan four times now. I mean, you're definitely you're three in person. I think you're up because I still love the story that you came to System Open. So those who know, he came to System Open here. He played Khan. He beat Khan. Were you in the Swiss?
System Open was only in the finals, I think.
Only in the finals. But then you beat him at the finals after a fire alarm incident. Khan went back over to Singapore for your grand champion. Then you faced him in the Swiss, and then you beat him in the Swiss. And then again in the finals, you beat him again. And it's like 3 times. Khan, come on, get better. You can't beat XY.
I mean, maybe that's the reason why Ryan is always smack talking Khan.
Yeah. Well, Ryan did say that you were his man, so I think he got that one right. All right, guys. We'll be right back with a giveaway. Thank you very much, XY. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Alrighty, guys. Just while we're getting hold of Raymond to do the last of the interviews for Team Philippines, we're going to do another giveaway. So if you missed out, all you need to do is type in the chat. We've got a few new names in here. Taco, though, you're too much of a scrub. You don't qualify. Who else we got? Rest of you, you're all good. All you good. All you need to do, type away in the chat. Type away in the chat. You hunger for cards. So we're doing another one of these triple cinematic ones. We've got the Yoda. We've got Jake in an A-Wing, the best ship in the game. Second best ship in the game. The RZ2 is the best ship in the game. And of course we've got Ray for the best faction in the game. Resistance. Viva Resistance. Alrighty. All you need to do, type in the chat. Wookie Barber, I am removing you because you're already going to get a set. You are our points champion for this last 2 months, and I'm going to be giving you a set. So I'm removing you so we don't have to re-roll it. Everybody else is up for it. We've got a few names in there. I don't know about Khan. He's a bit of a dodgy fella. We're pronouncing the best. I said the best, man. What are you talking about? Alrighty. And let's just quickly check on Raymond. Raymond, where are you? Come to me. We got an interview. While I'm still semi-sober. If I have any more iced tea, I may not be. Yeah, I'm back. See, he's doing it again. Doing what? A-Wings? Oh, great. The best? Yes, the best. Alrighty, here we go. For the Jake. The Jake. Very pretty Jake. And the Ray. Here we go. We're going for a roll. Red Rogue Vector. Congratulations. You have won these 3. These 3 cards are yours. Well, not actually these ones. I think they're actually someone else's, but I'll get you another 3 that will be yours, and I'm going to send them out to you. All you need to do is type exclamation point give me in the chat. Let me know that you got it, and we will send it out to you. Yay! That's it. 3 cards. All you have to do is tune in. Hear the smack talk. Beautiful. Fill that in. Give me your address, and I'll send them out to you. All right. Now, my pleasure, and a big shout out to Shane Monk who made those cards and got them organised, and also to our Patreons who actually help support the channel. Because of those, we've been able to do a bit more giveaways, and it's going to continue through XTC when we get the games in. So do stick around, keep an eye out, follow the Fearless Gun Knights if you're not already, and that way you get notifications when we go live. Because of the XTC and possibly the chaotic scheduling, I don't know exactly when I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be doing the usual Tuesday, Thursday nights anymore. I'll be trying to just get in the game when I see them and when I can do them. So follow, so you know, you get the notification. All right, I'm going to chase up Raymond. I'll be back shortly, guys. Where's my button? Alrighty, guys, we are back, and this time we've got Raymond. We have team of the X-Wing Team Philippines. How are you, Raymond?
Hi, Nobby. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, hey, no, my pleasure. It's really good. The final of the Southeast Asia Oceanic XTC Team Captains. Maybe the last one, but definitely not the least. How excited are you for XTC?
Super excited. Especially, yeah.
Yeah, no, continue. Especially what? Because you guys were
Well,
like,
especially first
Sorry.
time that the Philippines is making a showing, right? So really excited to show the world what we can do.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you guys almost didn't have a team, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Yes. So here in the Philippines, we're really more of a tabletop community. We've had little to no experience playing on TTS, and actually some of our players only started playing TTS in the last month, so that's fairly new, but they are great players still.
Yep. I mean, it's only a slight conversion between playing from the tabletop and then getting a hang of TTS and then transferring that onto TTS. So a month is fine. I'm sure if they've played X-Wing before, they'll pick up really quickly. Especially with all a big shout out to also the developers of TTS and the mods Flipster and Crazy Vulcan. They have done phenomenal work, as we mentioned in an early interview about TTS, and that's why it is so easy now to translate that skill from the tabletop into TTS. All right, enough of a TTS thingy. Tell us, who's in the team? What was the team? How did it form?
It started out with me posting on the Facebook group in the community asking people if they wanted to join. Then eventually, asking turned to begging and just knocking on their doors until they caved in. Then please, please, please join my team. So
Yep.
yeah, that's kind of what happened.
But you got them. You got them, right? So tell me, who are the players? Because unfortunately, I could not find one with all the names on it. But I've got your team banner. Who's on the team for XTC?
Okay, so first of all, there's yours truly. I play Resistance.
Sorry,
Next we
best
have
faction in the game.
Peter.
Best faction
Yes,
in the game. Yeah. You got to say
Definitely.
Resistance. I play Resistance, the best faction in the game. That's kind of a given on this. Try it again.
Yes, the best faction in the game, bar none.
There we
So
go.
then we have Peter. He's our Rebel player. He's been playing Rebel since 1.0. He loves playing high initiative ships. He loves, just bombing with rebels. He likes, basically he likes using the name pilots, especially because they're canon in the movies. That's the type of player he is.
Mhm.
Then we have Vernon. I think you might have heard of him, right? Vernon Lorenzo.
I do. I believe so for those who know, he's actually in New South Wales. Is he in New South Wales?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he was born and raised here in the Philippines, and he moved there around 15 years ago, and he's our resident Scum player. So I don't think he's the person with the least need of an introduction because he's played extensively in System Open's worlds, and yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. We're part of the group of Australians that went to Worlds, and guess who I faced? I think it was round 4. It was Vernon. And like we travel all this way, and it's like, why are we playing each other here? So yes, I know him well. Good player.
Yep. And then we have Ron the Guman. I'm sure you've seen him around on the stream. Tigress.
Yes, we've had him on a few times.
His favorite, his favorite faction is the Republic. He's, I guess I would call him our wild card player, right? Because you never know what he's going to do next. I mean, there's no coaching this guy.
Can't confirm.
Like, there's no coaching this guy. It's like, okay, just do one straight. One straight? No, 5 forward. Okay, yeah, whatever. Just do whatever you want. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, we've commentated a few of his games, and we left scratching head going, wasn't he going to go that way? But then he actually ends up going that way, and you're like, well, okay. Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is? Sometimes it just works out for him.
Yeah, it works out for him, I guess. It's one of those beautiful mind kind of things that we really aren't privy to how his beautiful mind works, but it works out, right?
Yep. I've actually just got
That-
the Philippines had Sky Paddling just sent it to me. I'm going to bring that up. So keep talking. I'm going to bring it up for you.
Okay. Next we have Ian Santos. He's our separatist player. So, Ian collects all kind. He loves all the villains in the Star Wars universe. He actually has more TIE fighters than you're allowed to play. I think he has like 16 of them or something. It's like he knows he can't play with them all, but you know he loves collecting them, supporting a game. And yeah, so who's badder now than Django and Zam, and that's his list.
So he's not flying any TIE fighters.
Well, he's playing the villain, so who's badder than Zam and Django right now?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yep.
And
now our going into our two mercs, Chris Dunn, and Guppy Jones. They both are from Sydney, and they're both great players. I had to beg them to join the team as well, although it was harder well, they were very willing to join, and they've collaborated with us on team strategy and everything like that. So that's great. A youngling team like us is really need for some of those veteran experience that they bring to the table.
absolutely. And just shout out to Chris Dunn, because he also makes some really, really nice alt art TTS ships. I may or may not. I don't want to spoil it in, but I may be flying a few of the A-wings that he's done for me. They're really, really good, really, really shiny, and you'll get to see those hopefully on stream, or hopefully other people stream as well, very, very soon. And who else you got? And Guppy. Yeah, we need to redeem Guppy in there. Redeem Guppy as well, because we have a Guppy fan club over here as well. So it's really also good to see both those players take part in the XTC. Absolutely. And
Australia's gonna regret not taking them.
Look, if we see you in the stage 2, I'll be happy. Okay, that's your goal. You get through stage A, and we see you make some other team upset, because if they can do that and help you, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Also,
Okay. Yeah.
who's this scrub
And
coach?
then sorry.
Who's the coach?
Oh, okay. So we have Travis Foss as our coach. So sadly, Travis was supposed to be part of our team as a player, but due to commitments, he couldn't cut it. So came on as coach, and he's been advising us on how to play, since he has that veteran experience as well. And yeah, basically just opening our minds to new things. Like there's more ways to attack than just a joust, apparently. So yeah.
Well, you might need to send the memo over to USA about that, and we're pretty sure they only know about jousts. Sorry, throwing another bone in there for him. Yeah, well, look, hey, great guy. It's just a shame, that he's not actually playing. I mean, probably make a lot of people relieved, but to know that he's at the helm and giving you guidance, that this could make Philippines, a team to watch out for, guys. All right. Well, what about your pairing process? Where do we end up for you? Let me bring it up. We had. Where is your group? Individual group. So we got this one over here, the Team Philippines. Thanks also, Chris, for sending that to me. All right. We've got another very handsome photo of you over there. Look at that. Group C, we've got Canada, England, Ireland, Philippines, Finland, Wales, Colombia, shout out to them as well, and Croatia. So, how are your feelings on your pod placement?
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a very tough pod, but then again, not with Australia so I feel relieved about that.
Any predictions? Before we get to predictions, who is the favorite team, or should I say, the favorite pairing that you're looking forward to in your pod?
England definitely, or Canada.
England and Canada. Okay, both of those are going to be. Do you think you have what it takes to see Team England taste defeat and maybe cause Mr. Ollie Pocknell to consume some hot spicy sauce?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think we have what it takes. I've actually played Ollie before when it was still on Vassal, so I like my chances.
You like your chances? I like that. I like that. And what about the team you're least looking forward to being paired up against?
Well, I think it would have to be like Croatia or Colombia or Wales, maybe. Well, it's not because I don't think they're weak or anything like that. It's because I don't know much about them, and yeah. So what you don't know, you fear. So
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah. But I can tell you the Colombia though, they're great. They're great chaps. They're great chaps. You can fear them, but you don't need to fear them because they're great chaps. They won't bite. They might hurt you, they might kill you, but they won't bite. Okay. Well, what about? Tell me, where was it? I had another question for you. We had a XY in the chat says you want to get Wookie Barber to help Raymond with his haircut. Hey, that's mean, XY. Come on, we're meant to be cheering for our fellow Asian teams. Come on. Hot sauce recommendations. I did ask you before. Did you have a hot sauce recommendation, and what is it?
That's really hard. I don't want to go against my Asian roots here. I'm gonna say Laukan Ma, but of course there's that one I sent you, Nabi. That's from Australia. That's pretty good too.
That one's also good too. So I'm gonna. I mean, I had the one that XY sent me in this one. So I mean, could we just send both, right? I mean, it's not like they can have too much hot sauce. I mean, it's not like it's a punishment or anything. No. People should appreciate and love hot sauce. Okay, going into that. Oh, the hotter the better? Yeah. I mean, okay. So, with your coach, has there been any strategies or advice that he's passed on to you that you wish to share with all of us here today?
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, the coaching process has been extensive, definitely. I mean, for us, they've basically had to rewire how we fly because, like I said, all we've known how to do is basically just point our guns into that direction and just go straight. But no one told us we could go this way too, turn around and face the other way. So that's the strategy is kind of like thinking outside the box kind of thing.
Okay, talking outside the box. Okay, I was hoping for a little bit more comical, I mean, one straight to victory is a valid strategy, though. One straight to victory, especially for the Rebels.
Well, we're not all rebels though, and I don't think I don't think the Republic eras like to do that, or even Django and Zam can do that. So,
hey,
it's just
yeah. Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up afterwards.
Yeah, sorry. So it's really for us in the Philippines, dice rolling is really the main skill of this game. We never really thought about it as maneuvers or upgrades or stuff. It's like the skill in this game relies on how well you roll the dice, and that's all we really care about.
Yeah, well, I the other day we had Sky Paladin on there, and before the game I told him, hey, just roll better. And you know what? He did. And it worked. So maybe to the rest of the team, not just to Chris, and Guppy doesn't either. Guppy's got his own unique take on the game. But Ed, to the rest of you guys, definitely roll better. Any smack talk for Canada? I see Wookie Barber there saying you should smack talk Canada, and then they'll just say sorry afterwards. I mean, is there any smack talk for any of the teams that you're facing?
Okay, well,
Jesse?
I got nothing. I only have praise and adoration for them, to be honest.
Oh man!
And even if I do praise Canada, they'll say sorry anyway. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, this is the pre-game. This is the battle of wits before the actual battle of wits when you're doing the pairing process. I mean, has the Foster not talked to you anything? You got to at least talk the talk if you can't walk the walk. I mean, all right, what do you? All right, okay. You're too polite. You're too polite. You're too polite. That's right. I won't put you up on the spot.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I'm trying. I'm really trying, but when I think of Canada, it's just like brings a smile to my face. I can't get mad at them for some reason.
All right. Wookie Barber saying you beat
Even-
Ollie before. You beat Ollie before. You beat him again. No.
It's possible.
All right.
And I was also playing Resistance then too. But I think Ollie's not playing as Aces now, so we'll see.
He's a scrub. You'll be fine. Nothing to worry about. And you got Foss. You got with Travis Foss. We're at your back. I think you guys can't go wrong. At the very least, I think you guys will have a great time.
Oh, that's for certain. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Asians let the dice do the smack talk. Wow. Okay. I like that. I like that, Shane. You know, well, we're here to promote you guys, and I'd really look forward to spending more time streaming some more of your games. It may not be me, it may be Matt. We have a few of the crew. We look forward to streaming all the games and all the team captains we've had on here over the last 3 hours, and more of your games and more of Ron, because I think we've seen quite a few of your games. And Ron's, and they're always great. As you said, we don't know where he's going to go. And also the 2 Australians, or I should say 3 Australians that are actually backing you with the coach, and Guppy and Chris. I'm glad you guys got together a team. I really am. And that means we have 38 teams in the XTC, 6, let me count, sorry, math is not my best strength point yet. 6 we have in the Oceanic SEA region. We'll be trying to follow all of them, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed that. It kicks off in 2 days. Pairings process is going to be going off soon. Who is your first round? Who are you paired off first round?
Finland.
Finland. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
It's not England. It's not Canada. You get a couple of rounds to practice.
Yeah, I think there's a typo in our round schedule because we don't face England at all if you check it right now.
Hey,
Although we do
auto
face
win.
Ireland twice, so
Hey, auto win. I mean, you can just say, hey, we won already. Hey, you know. Hey, awesome.
I'm not complaining, but okay, sure.
Hey, look, really, thank you for taking time out of your day and joining us. Let me just bring up. I want to bring the post up because it actually looks really, really good. There we go. I was looking for this beforehand. Look at, I love that that logo you got on there, the Team Philippines. Pew pew pow.
Yeah.
Guys, look, I wish you guys the best of luck. I do hope that you smash England. You make Ollie have the hot sauce, and we see you with Australia and Singapore in the finals. And with that,
Yes, Asia Unite and Oceanic Unite.
yes, absolutely. That's what we're all about. And with that, guys, I think we're going to call it on that. Oh no, I think we should do one more giveaway. What do you think, Raymond?
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it.
We'll do one more giveaway. We'll go one more giveaway. I think we've got enough cards here. If you're there in the chat, we got Sith Takers have joined us as well. Shout out to them. XY. Any more types? We got one more. We're going to do one more set. I'm going to give them away, and then we're going to call it a night. I'm going to get some beauty sleep because you know I need it. You want to know? Give me. All the absolutely. Shout out to all the captains who joined us because we did all of this live except for Malaysia, but he did that earlier today. And also a big shout out to him too because as I say he's going to send me some more of those metal cards for giveaways. So they'll be over the XTC. Here we go. Let's do a roll. Except for fish cake, you don't get any because they're actually yours. All right. Here we go. XTC beard, it will be my power. I did talk to the wife about that actually, believe it or not. Maybe the secret is facial hair. I'll have to ask Will, confirm it with Will. Here we go. Up to nothing, following since February. All you need to do is type an exclamation point, give me in the chat. Make sure to do that. I'm going to send you out these 3 lovely cards. If you can do that for me. And then we are going to go, I'm going to go get my beauty sleep. I hope everybody really enjoyed that. And we're going to call it a night. Up to nothing. Just give me an exclamation point giveaway, otherwise I'm going to re-roll it. The secret is Japanese whiskey. Stop lying. It actually might be. It might be. Japanese whiskey. It's iced tea. There we go. Great. Excellent. You got it. Congratulations. All right, guys. We're going to call it nice. Again, thanks for your time, Raymond.
Thanks, Nobby. Nice seeing you.